scored as Inter Miami defeated the Portland Timbers 2-0. The Herons, they will host the Philadelphia Union Sunday at 7, and the Cavs blew out the Pistons last night in Game 7, advancing in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks. Tonight, it's Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and the Thunder at 8:30. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Going to be overcast with temperatures in the high 80s today with a chance of rain. I am Dan Day. It is time now for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
And a very good morning. Welcome in here on WQAM. That was Dan Day on the update. I'm Hollywood. Omar Kelly is with us. Alex Donno will be with us later, and we may find out the answer to the mystery of where Joe has been today. Omar, good morning. Happy birthday, by the way, my friend. I did not know you were celebrating a birthday over the weekend. Happy birthday. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, gentlemen?
I'm good. You're so tired. You just called me Joe this morning. So we got to get you. How was the birthday celebration? How'd you do over the weekend? Everything okay?
Everything went fine. Dinner and dancing, and then just a lazy Sunday. So perfectly fine.
That's good. You can't beat a lazy Sunday. I spent my Sunday night watching that game Dan Day just talked about. Boy, that thing got ugly quickly. I thought James Harden and Donovan Mitchell were going to pull another choke job after the game they played in Game 6, but not the case. And the Cavs put together a nice game. I'll tell you, that series with the Knicks, I think, is going to be pretty entertaining here in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think this series with the Spurs and the Thunder is going to be very entertaining as well. So I think we got two good ones here. Dan, I'm curious here. Like, let's get your early morning picks here. Who do you like in these upcoming series? Like, is this a done deal where you got Thunder and the Knicks, or are we actually going to play these games here and then maybe get a different result?
I really, really like the Spurs, and the Spurs went 4-1 against Oklahoma City this regular season, and Oklahoma City has been very verbal about how much they don't like playing the Spurs. With that being said, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, two-time MVP, and this team has been steamrolling everybody. It's going to be a series, but I got Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Knicks are just too locked in right now, and I don't totally buy the Cavs. I didn't buy the Pistons. They were pretty bad this playoffs for what they were expected to do. So it looks like maybe Knicks and Oklahoma City Thunder early, projections.
Yeah, the Pistons they were very shaky for a team that was the 1 seed. They almost lost in the last series. They get blown out in Game 7 of this one, and clearly a disappointing finish for them. But yeah, I guess I'm with you, Dan. Like, I could see these teams dropping, though. Like, I could see the Knicks losing that series to the Cavs. That's certainly a possibility, I think. And then the Spurs they're different, man. They're different. I thought, again, we were going to get a competitive Game 6 in that series of Minnesota. San Antonio goes into Minnesota and blows those guys out. So I think the Thunder are certainly going to have their hands full when that series begins here. So looking forward to getting that thing started. We had a lot of NFL news trickle in over the weekend. The Hurricanes had some recruiting news go down. So we will get to Alex Donno is going to join us. Donno is going to jump in at 7:00 here this morning. So we will get to Donno coming up here. And then the good news is, Dan, is we got a 3-day weekend around the corner here for everyone. So we'll get through this week, and then it's a 3-day weekend coming up. We got the Aaron C show coming up by the way, on Saturday. I will be out there. So we'll get more details on that as we continue through the show. How about your weekend, Dan Day? Anything? You always have an interesting weekend, so I'll live through you here. What did you do this weekend? Anything good?
I mean, it was really just nonstop, and that's kind of the way I am always. Friday doing the DJing at Duffyson Plantation. Saturday, I went and walked around South Beach just to kind of see what was going on. And yesterday, really cool stuff. I went to the Inter Miami game at the new stadium.
That's right. How was that?
It is a new stadium. I mean, brand spanking new. It's so new that I was walking in the parking garage. Some of the arm rails, that you walk down the steps, still had a styrofoam wrapping around them. There's no landscaping, period. None. They have not even landscaped anything out there yet. And the game was fantastic. The stadium's beautiful. What they're planning on doing out there is going to be you can make a whole weekend out of it. And Inter Miami was great. So big win yesterday, and it was a whole lot of fun. I would suggest right now going out there, but in the future, you're really going to have a lot of hotels and restaurants and bars and a shopping mall out there. You can really bring the family out there to a game, and it was fun. It was really good stuff.
What kind of crowd are we talking out there? Was it was like every seat taken at this thing? Was it that full?
It was a technical sellout, a Miami sellout. It was full,
like
90% capacity, I would say. There were some open seats, but no, it was out there, and kind of some controversy. I was noticing how quiet the crowd was. I realized that the supporters groups were not cheering for the first 85 minutes because they did not appreciate that they have not been recognized by some of the big stars like Messi. And then in the final 5 minutes.
Is that what that was about?
Yeah, it was weird.
I saw someone talking about that, and Dan, that's certainly not my wheelhouse, but I saw someone talking about that, and I saw the comment. Someone with fans were getting into it with Messi or something or other, and then I looked at the comments below, and they were like screaming at the guy, "You're making stuff up. This is for click." And so I kind of like moved past it. But is this like a thing where Messi and the fans are feuding here?
Yeah, I noticed how quiet it was, and I was like, "What?" I thought maybe Inter Miami had sent out like ultimatum to the fan bases to stop because they played drums and horns during the whole game and they chant and cheer. I thought maybe with the new stadium there was some type of, I don't even know what you call it, but no, it was a silent protest by the fans, and they've really been treated poorly by the team since the very beginning, the supporters groups, and I've been a part of them, and I have a lot of friends in them, and they just didn't like it. And Messi was nasty to him yesterday too. He waved his finger at him, and the rest of the stars didn't even say hello at the end of the game to acknowledge them. It was a lot of the lesser guys on the team wouldn't acknowledge them, but yeah, not very happy with that. And they are a great supporters group. If you've ever been to one of those games, man, it's crazy out there in the supporters section. But yesterday, silent.
Well, what do they expect from Messi? Like, it's not like he's going to come down here and, be like a pillar of the community. I mean, I don't see him as that kind of guy down here. Like, he's not going to be, Udonis Haslem or Dwayne Wade or something like that, where he's down here for, forever and becomes like a major part of this community. But, I don't know, Dan. Like, the problem with Messi, he doesn't speak English, so a lot of stuff he says is a little bit, over my head.
Well, yeah, they just want a hand wave. They just want acknowledgement.
That's it.
They don't want Messi showing up at their kids, quinceañera or anything like that. They just want a hand wave at the end of the game. We won. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate your undying support. That's all they want.
Nothing that an autograph can't fix, Dan.
Oh yeah. But they got
all we need is a nice Messi autographs. But I'm trying to think, Omar, like if there's ever been an incident like this before, where players kind of got into it with the fans, and maybe with the Dolphins, this has happened.
How long has this been going on?
How long has this been going on? Well, since 2020, when the team's inception started, the supporters group has been wanting more, acknowledgement from the organization. Now, especially, they've kind of come to a head with the new stadium and everything. But it's just last night they decided to be silent during the game.
Okay.
I feel like this is a situation here. Like we need to maybe get to the bottom of this. And do they have like a leader, Dan? Does the group have is there like an elected president of some sort of this group?
Yeah, there's a couple of supporters groups. There's the Southern Legion and there's Vice City 1896. Those are two of the bigger supporter groups. They have leaders of the organization.
Now, do they get along, or is this like a Gangs of New York situation here where they all like meet at different corners, or like the scene in Anchorman where they all do battle? Like what are we talking here? Do they all like each other?
Yeah, they all like each other. They actually tailgate in the same areas. They actually set up together. They're just different supporters groups that have, I guess, a different code, but for the most part, very friendly, very likable. They party together after the games and stuff like that. So it's friendly.
Sammy on here asked, what the hell is a supporters group and why do they need recognition? A supporters group, that's like a fan club, right? Essentially, but nicer way of saying it?
Yeah.
Fan club sounds nerdy. Fan club sounds like what you sign up for like, you know, like a singer or something, you know, like so you get like a fake autograph picture in the mail.
Fan club sounds like you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like,
yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Why
I
do they
don't know.
need
Like, I was a
recognition?
member of a fan club when I was little. I was in the Michael Jordan Flight Club.
Oh,
Do you guys remember that one? So
Okay.
that was the only fan club that I recall being in back in my day. But Dan, this is a controversy, and I'm glad that we were able to address it here. And I wonder, like, if anyone from any of those groups, if you are out there, if you want to text in or whatever this morning, 305-567-0560, let us know what's going on down there.
Yeah,
You know,
I want
it's
to
quite a
know what this is
situation.
all about. Is this a need to sit down with Messi? What's going on?
You know, sit down with Messi like his godfather.
Messi waved his finger at him yesterday when they were chanting at him to acknowledge us, and he just went. And that's bad. Messi's going to do what Messi wants to do.
Dan's right about this, by the way, because I did see. I said I saw somebody tweeting that there was like some friction or something between the fans and Messi there, like the group that sits behind the goal there. So like this isn't some like made up thing. Richie says, "Yeah, situation is messy." Yeah, it is messy. It's a messy situation.
That's cute.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty good. It's always good for a Monday morning deal here. For all you people guessing, by the way, where Joe is, we're going to try to see if we can get him to surface today, lift either his temporary suspension or prison sentence, wherever he may be. We will hunt him down and find him. So we're gonna search for Joe this morning. But we have a fan controversy that we are discussing here from Inter Miami. Omar is with us, and the Dolphins are the schedule's starting to get a little busy here for poor Omar. So we'll get to that as we go. And then real quick here, Omar, Aaron Rodgers is back. There's your NFL news from the weekend. Aaron Rodgers decides he's going to lace him up again for Pittsburgh. I don't get it. Like, if even from a Pittsburgh standpoint, I just like it makes no sense for anyone. Aaron Rodgers, like, for me, is the kind of guy that, like, all right, you're a Super Bowl, you know, you need a quarterback to get you elevated for a Super Bowl. Like, you have all the pieces in place. You're a Super Bowl team. Let's bring in Aaron Rodgers. Like, that situation would make more sense to me. This situation, like, this is a Pittsburgh team that I don't think is going to be very good. They weren't good last year, certainly. I don't know how much they improved their roster, Omar,
but they were relatively good. I think they were in a playoff mix at the end of the season.
They were very, very
beat Baltimore. They beat Baltimore in the last game of the year. Remember, Baltimore missed that gimme kick, and they got into the playoffs.
Yeah, so they were essentially like a mediocre team. They're not a Super Bowl team. And again, to me, the move just doesn't make a ton of sense because you're just delaying everything like another year. This almost feels like what we did last year, and you're throwing a season away bringing in Aaron Rodgers.
I think they look at it from the standpoint they had a lot of injuries late in last season, and if we can put it together, put one more year in, even with a new coach, it can be consistent. And you never know what iron is going to get hot in the season. Player is going to be elite in the season. So I definitely see Pittsburgh as a middle of the pack team, and I think they would have been worse without Aaron Rodgers. They would have been a bottom of the pack team.
Do you even think that he can play at a high enough level? Like, yeah. To me, like, it's surprising guy keeps coming back for more. He was running all over the place last year, took a beating. I'm just shocked that this guy at this age wants to just keep coming back for more.
I think you underestimate the appeal of the NFL for a lot of these older players. And at a certain point, it doesn't become about the money. Now, you got a nice substantial bump from them. Mm-hmm. I think he's up to $22 million, which is around the neighborhood of what Aaron Rodgers should be making. But some of them just can't walk away from being in that locker room. Some of them just need that. And I've heard from pros that have left the game either willingly or by being forced out. And the one thing, I just had this conversation last week, the one thing that they miss is that locker room environment, that brotherhood. The people that you have one goal with, and you can't replicate that. So I don't think Aaron Rodgers is ready to give it up. And true, realistically, what's next for Aaron Rodgers after he does give it up? Probably TV. So
No. Here he said he's going to completely disconnect, and you'll never hear from him
he's
again.
going to do a Brett Favre.
Brett Favre did not do that. I don't know what Brett Favre you've been following, and I got to be careful because he likes to sue people. But at least according to that film I watched on Netflix, is kept busy.
Not in front of the major cameras.
There were cameras, maybe not major, but there were cameras. Nonetheless, Omar. But Marcus says, longtime A-Rod fan, he's washed. Yeah, man, he did not seem to have it anymore. And seemed like a guy was just out there running for his life and took, another beating. I imagine it'll be very similar this year. Like, I don't think Pittsburgh got dramatically better during the offseason here. So that'll be, look, it's good to have another big name quarterback for the league. You certainly never get a shortage of those. So it is good to have another big name back there. All right, on the Dolphins front, Omar, the schedule is out. The team is back in action. If you can, before we hit this break here, can you give us an update on the upcoming schedule here for the Dolphins? What are we looking at coming? What is the next set of events? Is it OTAs that are coming up here?
Yeah,
for the Dolphins?
We've got OTAs beginning this week. Tuesday is going to be my first reveal of what Malik Willis looks like as a starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. So I'll definitely be watching, evaluating. It's early, but hopefully we can put together some observations that stick and have staying power.
Now, people may say that this doesn't matter all that much, Omar, but I would actually argue that this is a very important practice that you're going to watch, because this is like the equivalent of like when Joe and I we go out to that first spring practice for the Canes, and we see Cam Ward get the throw, and we saw Carson Beck. Well, we didn't see Carson Beck in the spring; we saw him in the fall last year, but we just saw Darian Mensah throw for the first time down here in a Canes uniform. And I think you can get a lot from actually from watching that. And Omar,
you saw Malachi Tony when we're told to keep it secret.
Well, we saw with him, like, at least what he's good at, how he throws the ball, how he runs, how he throws the ball on the run, those kinds of things. So I imagine you'll get a pretty good glimpse of Malik Willis coming up this week.
Yeah, I mean, any glimpse is better than nothing. So I'm not sure how far they are in terms of installing the offense, or whether they're going to show us plays that they're going to use during the season. I think a lot of this is just testing it out, seeing what works. It's not the only thing I'm going to be seeing. Obviously, who's playing with Malik Willis in terms of receivers. What does Greg Dulcich, the tight end, look like? What the defensive front looks like and who plays in what role. So the whole secondary, somebody's going to be first in line. I don't think we're going to be allowed to report to you guys who's playing where on what depth chart, but you sort of get to get a snapshot idea of where at least players are beginning this journey from.
I told you last week that this is going to be a very intriguing season for the Dolphins. You kind of shook your head at me, but I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of good storylines here. Some things that we're going to get answered in the coming days now, Omar, and we will have Omar to write about it in the Miami Herald, right, Omar? So we'll follow Omar's work. We'll have stuff coming up this week. Malik Willis throwing in a Dolphins uniform for the first time, so a lot of stuff there. Alex Donno is going to join us at 7 o'clock. There was some big Canes news over the weekend. Didn't exactly go their way, but we will get to that. That was expected. That we were kind of expecting that on Friday, but we'll talk to Alex Donno in the 7 o'clock hours. We continue on here on QAM.
Emergency crews are dealing with a multiple vehicle accident early this morning. This traffic report is brought to you by the casino at Dania Beach, sitting I-95 northbound. As you approach that ramp to Florida's Turnpike, that ramp remains closed. That traffic stacking up in the area. Also dealing with delays out of Broward, I-75 northbound before Arvita Parkway. It is blocking that right lane. That's traffic. I'm Amelia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
All right, welcome back in here on QAM on this Monday morning. Hope everyone is having a good start to their week here as the sun starts to climb here on this beautiful Monday. Had some weather yesterday, Omar, a little bit. That was nice. I actually too. I was with you. I had a nice, relaxing Sunday. We watched the GOAT movie, that Steph Curry movie. I had to do about a 90-minute Zoom with the basketball league that I'm getting set to coach here this summer. So there you go. I'm signed up, Omar. I'm coaching a 4-year-olds league and a 9-year-olds league here. This in summer ball. We got the summer league here going on. So I'll be back to coaching here once again.
So who was the Zoom with? Parents?
No, this was with the other coaches and like the league officials, I guess, the commish. Yeah, we're getting set for the summer league here. School's over, by the way, in like 2 weeks around here. I don't know what's going on in Dade, but for Broward, they have like 2 more weeks here of school. So the school year is getting set to end up here, and then we'll get into the summer. Omar, summer's always fun.
What's your worst fear when it comes to school ending?
Well, I think there's a little break in between that and camp, so that I guess would be my fear right there in and of itself. But we'll get there, Omar. We will get there one step at a time. We did have some people text in about what Dan Day was talking about. This was interesting, and I wasn't going to bring this up, Dan, because again, I don't understand. It's just not my wheelhouse. Like, I get fan groups. I do know that they exist for soccer. But you are always going to get those people that send in. They're like, what are these other men need like to be acknowledged or whatever. And, look, I don't know how Inter Miami as a team treats their fans, Dan. You would know better than I would on that one. I do know Messi is not going to play there forever. And there will be a drop off with that product when he is no longer there. Maybe they find another Messi type of player out there to come in. But I do know that there will be a drop off regardless on that product when he leaves, Dan. So hopefully, I'm guessing all the fans will stick around that go now. But you may lose the more casual fan. But those supporters groups, those are the important ones, right?
Those are the guys and girls that have been there since day one, when our biggest player was Rodolfo Pizarro and stuff like that. And they, it's a common thing in football, soccer, to have supporters groups and for the organization to recognize them, maybe, send a player out there every once in a while to have a meet and greet. And Inter Miami has not really done a lot of that. And like I said, a lot of times they don't even wave to the supporters group after a win. And I'll be honest with you, yesterday, they have some hardcore fans that are Inter Miami fans, but at that stadium yesterday, 65% of the people wanted one thing and one thing only: to see Messi score a goal. That was it. Portland Timbers fans were cheering when Messi scored. I would never cheer for the other team scoring. I don't care who it is. They were cheering and happy. I was like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah, like this again, to me, like, has always had the more of a feel of like a product where this is like Jordan with the Wizards. You just want to go and catch a glimpse of this guy running around, like, whether he scores, doesn't score, plays well, doesn't play well. I just think people want to like actually see them, because this is like one of those I can say I did it type of things, right? Like, this is where like I can say that I saw Jordan play, or I can say that I saw LeBron play or Messi, or, he's in that category of like the elites that you just want to see play. Like Dolphins fans get a chance to see Patrick Mahomes play this year. We got a chance to see Brady play a few times over his career down here in Miami. So, I just think, Omar, this is just like one of those like rites of passage where you just want to say like, yeah, I saw Messi play.
Here's the thing that I don't understand in these fan groups. What do they want? What is the compromise? What is the ask?
The ask was for Messi, Bertarame, Rodrigo De Paul, the big name players at the end of the game to simply walk by and wave and acknowledge that they exist.
So they're mad because Messi.
That doesn't seem like a very difficult ask.
It doesn't seem like a tough ask, but it also seems like immature ask. Like,
come on, man. Like,
you're mad, so you're silent during the game.
It's kind of funny story that we're talking about this. But like, I don't think that like they must have those supporters. Like, where did Messi play before this, Dan? Like, he played for some of like the more important teams on the grand soccer stage. But like, I feel like all the teams have things like this, right? Like, don't they have these in the more professional?
Do I have to come out and acknowledge? I'm sorry, I shouldn't bring up Tua. Does Malik Willis have to come out and acknowledge? Big E and
most of them do, though. Most of the players do. Like when they walk out on the field and the fans are cheering, like a training camp or whatever. Like, yeah, most of them will turn and wave or whatever. Like they're not
during a game and after a game. Come on, man.
Well, after a game, they wave to the fans as they run off.
Mario
the field.
Cristobal runs up to the fans after every game.
Though. This is not like I feel like this is a soccer thing, and this is not like necessarily an American sports thing.
Well,
like the Heat don't have, like, at least as far as I know, the Heat don't have a supporters group that sits like behind one of the baskets. Like the Panthers don't have like, behind one of the goals, some like, like fan club. So I don't know that the teams even like this fan club, Omar, because I have been to Inter Miami games. Like there's a designated area for them in the stadium. So like the players know where these groups are. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the difference to me. Like, you just mentioned a few of the Dolphins, like super fans, but I don't imagine, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that all of the Dolphins super fans all sit like in a row together.
No, they don't. But they know the areas and they know the sections where they sit. But outside of that, they're silent during the game out of protest because Messi won't wave hi to them. Is this what we're doing? Is it them? Am I understanding this incorrectly, Dan?
You're understanding it incorrectly. It's an amalgamation of things that have happened since 2020, how the organization, how the players have neglected a supporters group that has supported this team through thick and thin, Messi and no Messi, and will hopefully continue to support this team through thick and thin with no Messi or Messi. So it's just kind of come to a head, and it came to a head last night, and that's part of the beautiful thing in this country is you have the right to protest, and that's exactly what they did, and they felt as though they weren't getting the correct response from the team, and they made their voices not heard, I guess you'd say.
Okay. I'm with, by the way, I want to tell you that I fully side with Dan and the fan supporters here. Although, Dan, I should probably double check with you here. Is this the side that you are taking? Like, are you taking the fan supporter side? Because I'm kind of with you on this one, man. Like, assuming that you're on my side here, like, wave to the fans, dude. Like, and that's what they do in soccer.
So the wave, is that it?
It's like, no, they give you like a tennis wave or whatever. Like they do that thing with the clapping, the thing. Yeah, they do like a whatever that clap is, and then they give you a little thumbs up or whatever, like to the crowd. Like, come on, man.
It's not uncommon. Mario Cristobal always goes up to the fans, especially on the road. Nick Saban used to do it. I mean, like, it's not a hard thing to walk over and thank your fans for supporting you in a game, much less throughout your entire existence.
Wait,
and
Dan,
Dan's right.
I wanted to ask.
Good morning, Jamie.
Are the supporters like boosters in college football? Like, do they have like a part in the team, or are they just fans?
Jamie just joined us here to dunk on those supporters. He's not having any of it.
I was just confused because, like, if they were boosters, then I would understand like a recognition, like
there's
part of the team.
There's no boosters. Messi doesn't need NIL.
Someone's paying him.
I'm guessing that their tickets have gone up significantly in price over the years. I mean, just a guess because everything has gone up significantly over the years. So I'm guessing their tickets have gotten more and more expensive. I mean, they're not paying the prices that they paid pre-Messi, I'm guessing, for their tickets. So they are
paying new stadium prices too.
Yeah, new stadium. I'm okay with this. And Dan's right. Mario does go over to like the student section after a game. A lot of the coaches will go over to the student sections after the games. Because they know exactly where they are. Like that's the difference, I think, with college sports too. Like Mario knows that student section is in the end zone, right underneath where we sit. Jay Lucas knows the student section is behind the basket, right behind their bench. Like these guys know where the specific section is, so I think it makes it easier to acknowledge the fans after a game. But I am on the side of the fans in this one, Dan. If that's all they want, they just want a wave to be acknowledged. I'm okay with this, guys.
We need clarity. We absolutely need clarity on what.
I agree with you.
What is the ask? What's the compromise? I'm curious now. I mean,
we need the leader of the what's the name of the group, Dan? The
leader.
I can reach out to some of the guys and girls.
We need someone. We need a representative from this group to join us here this morning. You actually call us if you'd like, 305-567-0560. Call us, and we will bring you on. We will get to the bottom of this. And Donno is going to join us at 7, who is a massive soccer fan. So he will understand the situation. He will sympathize, I would think, with the fans. Richie says this is a scoop here from Dan. I saw something along these lines yesterday. One of the people who covers Inter Miami sent something out about this whole deal with Messi, and people underneath were just like ripping him, saying he was making it up and this and that. So I didn't really think much of it. But now that Dan brings it up, we have a controversy officially here. Way to go, Dan.
Dan's a media member. It's real now.
Controversy. It is real. All right, we want justice for the fans here. So
we want acknowledgement.
We want to get to the bottom of this. I want to get.
Here's my question.
Oh, hey, Omar. You know what, Omar? You were against the fans to begin with, so don't you dare take their side now. Now that they're going to come and jump you.
All I want to understand is, what do they need? What do they want? They want to wave every third game? Like what? Hi.
No, they want him to wave after every game. Say, hey, thank you for coming. If you'd like, you can all form an orderly line.
I'm sorry, this can't be it. This sounds incredibly petty. Like I got, there's got to be more.
Petty. It is incredibly petty. But if this is what they want, then this is what they should get. We're going to take a pause. We're going to get Alex Donno coming up in about 20 minutes from now. We're by the way, for everyone who's wondering where Joe is, we may have some information on where Joe is this morning. So we will get to that. I got Jamie. I got to find out about your experience at the Trop. We'll get to Jamie. I want to know what he thought of Tropicana Field. I told him on Friday he was going for the first time. I said, Jamie, this is the worst venue perhaps in North American sports. And we'll find out what he saw at the Trop over the weekend. And Omar, we will get to, of course, more Dolphin stuff as the Dolphins getting set to take the field for OTAs this week. So we actually have players on the field. We'll take a pause. We are getting close to that 7 o'clock hour with Donno. He will join us about 20 minutes from now here on QAM.
I do know this. Your South Florida Chevy dealers have never looked better than they do right now. Boy, we got some great 2026. Oh my gosh, what an SUV family. You're just absolutely going to love it. Whether it's Suburban, I start at the top, to the Tahoe, to the mini Tahoe, the Traverse. I love them. I do. I think someday it's going to be me and a Traverse living together. I'm going to give up on my 20th Tahoe and the Equinox. And I got to tell you, man, the Equinox is, boy, I'll tell you what, if you don't get one, just grab one as a rental car and ask for it, or just they're fantastic. They are unbelievable. Woody and Omar got everybody in an Equinox now, and I'll tell you, they are great. And then right over to the truck family, whatever kind of truck you're looking for, it's like they've custom-made a truck, absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. Whether it's full-time working truck, Silverado 1500, could be a Silverado HD, but all the power and durability you could ever want. To the family truck, need that extra space for you and the family on the weekends, and then pull around all your favorite toys you have, from a boat to those wave runners. You can't go wrong. From 17th Street Causeway down to the Miami Beach, man, we got a location and a truck absolutely perfect for you. 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. Hey, stop by. We got some great deals going on. Take a test drive and fall in love at your South Florida Chevy dealer.
WQAM invites you to
quiet riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the casino at Dania Beach.
Your favorite shows, the games of your favorite South Florida teams. We've got them
right here on the Q, baby.
Catch us on FM 104.3 or listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Don't miss a thing.
Welcome back in here on QAM. It is Monday morning as we get set for Dolphins OTAs this week. Busy weekend for the Marlins, and Jamie is back in town here with us. Jamie, who is our video producer, he is also the host of the Locked on Marlins podcast. So we will give Jamie an opportunity here to not only promote his podcast. We're gonna have one of his Locked on brothers, Alex Donno, join us about 10 minutes from now. So Jamie, if you can, first of all, we'll pump up the podcast in a second. You went to Tropicana Field on Friday.
I did.
The first time. I told you. Now, I was not trying to burst your bubble or ruin your trip. I can't imagine you had high expectations, like you were going to Wrigley or Fenway or something going into this. But I told you that this is the worst stadium in North American sports. That it's certainly in that conversation. What were your thoughts about the Trop?
Yeah, my expectations were not high going in because I've heard from many people that the Trop is not the best location. It was as advertised. You know, it wasn't anything to write home about. But what I will say is they have it was like walking into a time capsule of like the early 2000s or like the 90s. Because they have that big Coke can out in center field that you don't see in many stadiums anymore. Like most people have the digital stuff going on out there. But it was they had physical barriers and stuff. But one thing I will say too, there were poles on on the side of the infield. You couldn't really see very well where anyone was sitting. So that was annoying. And also the seats are facing center field, you're not looking.
Yes, they are,
which was annoying as well. So
very strange park, Jamie. It's just very weird. Did you notice also, by the way? I don't know if you noticed this. It's very hard to find your section. The numbers are all over the place on finding your section. There, it's very hard to find your seats.
Yeah, that was weird too. It went by twos. It was 130, 132, 134, 136, and then on the other side of the stadium, it was 131, 133, 135. So you had to know if you were on the even side of the stadium or the odd side of the stadium, which I found very strange.
and I also told Jamie, I told him, Omar, that when I was in school, this is 20 years ago now, we would go, we'd go to the Trop and watch the Rays play across the, the bridge there. But they had a model of their new ballpark that they had on display in the concourse or whatever of the Trop. And again, this was 20 years. They have been trying so hard for 2 decades to get that waterfront park that they've been wanting over there built. It has never materialized. I think they're making progress on it, last I heard, but they had a model of the new stadium inside the Trop. But again, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, it seems like that's still going on because I was in the stadium and I heard people around me talking about, are we getting a new stadium? I heard something was approved, blah, blah, blah. But I don't really know if things are progressing or not over there.
See, with Jamie is of the age where he doesn't know life of roughing it in stadiums. He has not had the Orange Bowl experience. He's never had to pee in a trough, a shared trough urinal. Which is just how I grew up in the sports world. It's a unique experience. I think you've never walked inside an elevator and feared that it would never rise to the level where it was supposed to be. You've never blocky parked, no blocky. So it's a rough life. I mean, it's a catered life now, but
yeah, now we make sure Omar is fully taken care of. Everything's got to be climate controlled. All the food's got to be, a certain way. So we gotta make sure Omar is taken care of. Jamie, you got the Locked On Marlins podcast going. Tell us what you got and where people can find you on that.
Yeah, you can find us Locked On Marlins on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. We're on YouTube as well. We put up an episode Monday through Friday, so every day pretty much about whatever's going on with the Marlins. We follow the team, day in and day out, and all things Marlins. Check us out. Rough weekend for the Fish, but coming home playing the Braves this week, and then the Mets, not getting any easier for the Marlins. So they got some big games coming up this week.
And we need our boy Liam to keep playing well, Jamie. Jamie told me it's time to start investing in some Liam cards. So I got a nice one coming in the mail here in the next few days. His stuff's still very, very cheap. So we're taking a gamble on that one, Jamie.
He's having a good year so far. Leads the majors in RBIs, so he's having a good year.
All right. We need him to become as popular as Ohtani, and we'll be in business. All right. We're going to have Alex Donno join us as we kick off the 7:00 hour. Dan, have you got any feedback on this story? I do see some people sending some stuff in just before we go off the break here. This is to me, some kind of, somewhat of a big story here. Like Messi is, I don't know how debatable this is, but he's probably the most recognizable star we have in town at this point, right? I mean, he'd be the most recognizable person in most people's town as far as sports stars go. So this is a pretty big story here. Have you got any feedback here yet? Has anyone surfaced here that you find interesting?
I'm reaching out. It's still kind of early, so I've sent a couple text messages to some of the supporters groups, guys and girls, and we're going to see if I can get somebody to jump on and kind of explain the situation.
Texter said Dolphins acknowledge the VIP fans. I know that for a fact, so Omar can sit his behind down here. We'll keep it clean here on this Monday morning. 336 says, Hollywood, you're correct about the Rays Stadium. It is indeed Tropicana Field. I like that. And we have someone just sent this in here. This is a longer text about let's see here if I may correct you, Dan. Supporters groups were there when the team was only an idea. Some of the older members were probably there for the first rendition of the Strikers. I was a Fusion season ticket holder. They would come for Miami every game. Then I had season tickets for the second incarnation of the Strikers. Acknowledging the fans does not take an effort. I miss the days of Coach Ray Hudson. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that it takes much effort, and if that's what the fans want, like I don't know why this is an issue here.
Yeah, what is it? What is the request? What is the ask? What is the demand?
I think the ask is clear, Omar. I mean, we're going by Dan's story here. Like, yeah, that's okay though. Like, I don't know why it's a silly story because it's like it doesn't take any effort on Messi's part, right? And it takes a lot of effort on those fans' part to go out and pay and watch him. So if that's what they demand, I don't think their request is outrageous. Like, I don't, but again, I don't know enough about it. I think Donno will be a good person to bring in here and be like a neutral party here. So Dan witnessed it firsthand last night. He went out to the game and saw it. Donno is like a huge international soccer fan. So we'll bring him on coming up. And again, if you are wondering where Joe is, we may have details coming up. Perhaps in the 8:00 hour. So we'll leave you on that one, Omar, and we'll see if we can get Joe to surface here today. Find out what happened. Was it we talking suspension? Are we talking arrest? Prison time? Like what are we talking here with Joe? I probably shouldn't tease that one too much because that could be a problem. But we'll find out maybe today. We'll see if we can't get him to surface. But we do have a lot going on here on this Monday morning. Dolphins will be back on the field, so we do have Omar Kelly with us. We'll talk some Hurricanes with Alex Donno coming up next. The Canes did have some news that did not go their way on Friday. Alex Donno from the Locked On Canes podcast joins us next year at QAM.
But right now, I want to talk to you about some other things, like some things we don't like to talk about. Look, we love talking about being competitive in sports and still being able to go out and looking forward to it, man. For me, like just looking forward to going out and playing tennis and staying active. But the bad part is if you're like me and still probably too competitive, you get injured, and it happens. Happens to everybody out there. It doesn't matter if it's your kids or you. Sooner or later, everybody gets injured. And I get asked this question all the time. Where do the pros go when they get injured? I go, well, enter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, and the Miami Dolphins. All trust those great doctors at Baptist Health, South Florida. They have put together one of the top sports medicine programs in the country. How do you do that? Well, you got great facilities, obviously. But more importantly, you got great doctors. And, boy, you recruit the top specialists from around the country. They come in here. They work with your doctors. They put together a team of doctors from the top to the bottom, from team doctors to specialists for the knee and shoulder and foot and ankle, hand specialists, back specialists, hip and knee replacement. I don't mean just one. I mean a group of doctors for every part of the body. And all of a sudden, hip and knee replacement, Achilles, I go on and on with 3 great facilities like Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the Miami Dolphins training facility, and 595 in Pine Island in Plantation, Broward County. So easy to get to, man. Just visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. Hey, listen, I hope you never get hurt, but you know the deal. Sooner or later, it happens to everybody. It is sure nice to have Baptist Health, South Florida, and this great sports medicine program for all of us with one goal every day about getting you healthy, back out playing the sports you love the most.
WQAM broadcast. Panthers, the three-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the two-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us, Doral Volkswagen or DoralVolkswagen.com. Marlins lost to the Rays 6-3. They open a 4-game series against the Braves tonight at 6:40. Max Meyer gets the start. You get a Game 7 in the National Hockey League tonight as the Canadiens and the Sabres do battle starting at 7:30. Speaking of Game 7s, last night the Cavs blew out the Pistons 125-94. They advanced to play the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. And tonight, it's Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and the Thunder at 8:30. And the Miami Hurricanes got 2 big commits over the weekend. Cornerback King Hall and edge rusher Jayon Dawson. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Overcast skies, chance of rain throughout the day, and temperatures in the mid to high 80s. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, welcome back in here on QAM on this, I was going to say, beautiful Monday morning. We got a little rain brewing out here, so everyone stay dry out there. Hollywood Omar Kelly, Donno is with us now. Dan Day is with us. Jamie is here as well. So we got quite a crew here this morning. Donno, good morning, man. How you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, good morning, guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'm okay. Omar, Hollywood, Dan Day, Jamie. Let's rock and roll.
Well, we got a lot to get to here, Donno. We have a soccer controversy that I think we're going to need to run by you here. I know that you are a big soccer fan. Now, you are a fan of the Italian league, not the MLS so much, right? Is that more, you're more of the Italian league fan?
Yeah, I'm above that MLS thing. No, just kidding. But I mean, kind of. But I'm a big fan of Italian Serie A. That's what I grew up on. My father being from Milan, which that's wrapping up now. The team that I support won the domestic championship, Inter Milan. So I'm happy about that.
Now, would you consider yourself part of a supporters group? Because that's where our controversy stems from here this morning, if I can get those words out. Messi, Dan tells us Messi will not acknowledge the Inter Miami supporters. They are a little bit upset about that. Donno, have you heard about this story? Is this something you've heard about here? And to the supporters, like, they should be acknowledged. Like, I'm kind of with them on this one. I don't have a problem with them wanting to have a little nice wave for Messi.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard about this, and I'm curious to hear more, because like sometimes, and I'm not saying it's the case here, because I find like MLS supporters groups are usually not that controversial. Some of the official supporters groups in Europe are like some of them are involved in criminal activities, supporters groups, like they can be like mafia families. So there are cases overseas where sometimes maybe a player has valid reasons not to align themselves with a supporters group, but I don't know what this Inter Miami supporters group is involved in. Is Dan Day, are you a member of said supporters group?
I have been a member in the past of Vice City 1896.
And what kind of criminal activities are you involved in?
No, Dan was expelled from the group. If you didn't know,
plead the fifth on that one, man. I can't be talking about.
he was asked politely to leave. No, Dan. If you can tell us, Dan, tell us the story of what is going on here, and because I do want to get Donno's take on this. I feel like he's a supporter himself.
Well, I mean, this is a supporters groups that have been there since the inception of the idea of Inter Miami. They're going to be there long after Messi. They're going to be there ride or die. They were there for Rodolfo Pizarro, if you remember that. And
I sure do.
And I've had many of them on the shows over the years, and they completely over the years told us that they don't feel as though they've got enough support from the organization for all that they do. The organization doesn't really recognize them very much. None of the players, seem to give them a lot of the respect that they are deserving of. And last night they decided to not cheer for the first 85 minutes of the game. So they were silent.
I heard about that. Yeah, I knew someone who was at the game, and they were like, "Why is it so quiet here?" And now I know why.
I thought it was the new stadium. I thought they had put out an ultimatum for them to be quiet because, they usually blow horns and bang drums. They didn't bring their instruments last night. They didn't put up flags. They didn't do anything. And when they did start cheering about, hey, you need to pay more attention to us, Messi waved a finger at them at the end of the game. Some of the bench players recognized them, but the big guys like Messi and Rodrigo de Paul and Bertarame did not wave and say thank you. They never do. They never do.
Or waved the finger.
He waved. No, just, well.
You didn't flip him off if that's what you're asking, Omar.
He just did a finger wave.
He wagged his finger like Dikembe Mutombo.
Why is a finger wave not good enough?
Why was it like a dismissive finger wag? Like I don't care about you.
The way Dan is doing it, it's a very it's a dismissive, right?
It's dismissive, yeah. Well, look, the Dolphins, their season ticket holders, they before the season let them go tour the facility. The coaches speak with them, so it's not unheard of an organization to thank their hardcore fans by showing some appreciation. And it seems like Inter Miami just has not done enough, at least in the supporters group's minds, over the years, not just this year, but this, and it's come to a head, last night.
So they're not satisfied with how they're coddled as fans. Gotcha.
Would you stop, Omar?
But to something that Dan was saying, because I remember, before the team even existed, like right after David Beckham and the ownership group announced, hey, this is happening, we're starting a team. Because I covered the presentation that they had. This was before they even had a team. And Omar, this was 2 years before they started playing games, and there was already a supporters group. They were there they held it at the Arch Center, and there was already support. There wasn't going to be a team for another 2 years. So I do feel like, to Dan's point, the supporters group that was there before they even had a team probably deserves a little bit of acknowledgement. So I'm with Dan on that one.
So, but they need to be acknowledged at every game by every person, by Messi. What is the baseline? Let's get to the ask, as they say.
Dan, what is the ask?
The ask is, number one, as you exit the game, maybe just nod and wave over to the supporters group and then thanks. It doesn't take any effort. And there's some other things, of course, behind the scenes, as though they felt as though ticket prices have gone up and that they haven't gotten the type of respect that they should be getting. They have to tailgate far, far away from the stadium. They've been moved even further away from the stadium. And it's just little things like that, when they have big events, maybe have somebody from the organization come by and, say hi or speak at an event or something like that. But they felt as though they haven't gotten that. But Donno, it's not uncommon in any sport for some of the stars to recognize the fans and wave and say thank you. So
yeah, and internationally, the big supporters groups will try to it's almost like a union going on strike or something. They'll try to exercise their power, because there's one in the Italian league, the Lazio supporters groups. They play their games in Rome, and they hate the owner of the team so much because he doesn't spend any money on players that the supporters group has boycotted the entire season this year. So they'll do stuff like that. The supporters groups will try to make their voices known.
And I also we were talking earlier, Donno, they know, the players know where the fans are with these supporters groups. I've been in our Miami games. It's very clear where those groups sit. If you went to a Heat game or a Dolphins game or a Panthers game, there's no telling where the fan, not that there are necessarily fan groups, but there's no specific, sections where the top supporters of the team sit. In college, you'll see I mentioned Mario, will go and he'll, throw up the U to the student section, or, Jay Lucas will walk over, but that's because everyone knows where the student section exactly is. It's a very, determined area, so everyone knows. That's I think the thing with the soccer, this is pretty easily fixed. I think I think Messi needs to just whatever it is that they're looking for, whether it's a long meet and greet / autograph signing after a game, or just a wave. We got to make this happen.
Give a wave.
You don't negotiate with terrorists. That's
just wave to him. You could fix this whole thing.
Meanwhile, Omar needs fans out there to subscribe to his work, and he's out here just ripping into these poor Miami fans, these Miami soccer fans. This is sad, Omar.
I'm just saying,
you're more of a man of the people.
I need to hear from them to understand what the ask is, because all of this seems like coddling to me. Oh, we want Messi to wave at us. Oh, we, it doesn't seem reasonable. It doesn't seem logical to me. But soccer's a different world. So maybe, what do I know?
Well, let's get back into a world we do know. And Donno, just
silence.
Real quick here, Donno, if we can. The Hurricanes did get some good news over the weekend. They got some not so good news over the weekend. Give us a quick recap from a recruiting standpoint of what went down for the Miami Hurricanes over the weekend.
Yeah, got some very good news on Sunday. Not so good news on Friday. I remember we talked about this late last week. Miami did not get Mark Matthews, the 5-star offensive tackle from St. Thomas, has chosen to go to Texas A&M. I don't know if you guys watched his announcement, and then he did an interview afterwards. It was like, it was like he was auditioning for the it was like he was auditioning for the WWE or something. It was very very bizarre, but it was a big moment in his life. He acted a little weird. It is what it is. And David Foloruncho, a 5-star defensive tackle, kind of expectedly chose to go to Notre Dame. Now with Matthews, like, he was in Miami's backyard, he chose to go somewhere else. For Foloruncho, he chose to stay in his backyard. He's in Chicago, and he's got his head coach is a former Notre Dame player, and his trainers are affiliated with Notre Dame. So that one wasn't too surprising. But then on Sunday in Hollywood, how many times have I said this? Big boy recruiting. You put your big boy pants on, because there's going to be ups and downs, right? So bad news on Friday, and then on Sunday, Miami flips one of the top corners in the class. A. King Hall, who's the number 1 player in the state of Alabama, was committed to Oregon. He flipped to Miami. So in the past week, Miami has gotten 2 of the top corners in the class. We talked about Dante Wright last week, who flipped from Georgia to Miami, who's a 5-star, and then A. King Hall, high-level 4-star. So the Hurricanes are going to be in great shape in the future at cornerback. And then, Miami added another one on Sunday night. I heard Dan mention it in his update. 3-star rising edge rusher Javon Dawson out of Santa Lucis High School in Lake Worth, Florida, so up the road in Palm Beach. And with Javon Dawson, he's not like as obvious of a blue chipper in terms of the rankings, but I hear that Miami just loves his freakish athletic ability, that his testing is through the roof. He's a big guy at defensive end, but he runs a 4.6. He's got a really high vertical, a great broad jump, long arms. I think Jason Taylor sees kind of maybe like a younger version of himself in this Javon Dawson. So, and also I asked Larry Bluestein about him, and Blue mentioned he recently went to the Santa Lucis spring game. He was actually going there to watch a different player. He was going to watch their running back, and he ended up coming away impressed with Dawson, that was the guy who really jumped off the page to him. So that was a good Sunday for Miami. I think they're probably going to get maybe on Thursday some more good news, because there's a top linebacker, 4-star A.J. Randall, who's going to be announcing on Thursday, and Miami looks like the trending leader there for him.
Now, Donno, let me just follow up by asking, like, when these commitments are made, and not just at Miami, but anywhere, that does not shut down the recruiting, correct? There's still you could still put some pressure on these kids to perhaps change where they have committed to. Like, I guess they can change many times they want nowadays, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's usually, if you flip more than one time, it's usually, maybe you look at that as not the best reflection of your character. So oftentimes the first flip is the last flip, but not necessarily. We've had guys flip like pancakes. So, you figure the guys that Miami just flipped are probably not going to flip again. But in terms of, you mentioned a guy like Mark Matthews. Miami doesn't necessarily stop recruiting him. One of the things that a lot of these players do, because keep in mind it's mid-May right now, and the official visit season, the big college visits for these guys start like at the end of this month into June. So if you commit somewhere like this time of year, the school that you commit to will usually politely or not so politely ask you to cancel your official visits to other places. So, if you don't take official visits to other places, that makes it a little hard for other schools to flip you down the road. But it can still happen because
And
Hollywood
and if I choose not to take these, not to cancel my official visits, I mean, we've been here long enough.
Right. Well, it depends on how good you are. Because if you're a 5-star player and it's like, or if you don't want to, we're not going to drop you necessarily because you don't cancel your official. If you're a 3-star player, you better cancel your official visits, right? It's usually how that goes. But yeah, no, but it
3 stars. So you better cancel your visits, Omar. All right. I'm sorry. I'm giving Omar a hard time because he's giving our supporter group a hard time over at Inter Miami here this morning. We do have to take a pause. Donno, while we got plenty more to get to with you, we'll take Donno up until the 8 o'clock hour, and then we'll see if we can't find Joe. We'll track him down in the 8 o'clock hour here as we continue on here on WQAM.
I do want to take a second to let you know, man, May is Mental Health
Uline.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for the Atlantic Men's Clinic. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At the Atlantic Men's Clinic, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work, be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 877-455-7300 or go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
This hour of the Joe Rose Show on WQAM is sponsored by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information.
Traffic on WQAM is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV in stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
An accident this morning traveling in Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, Snapper Creek Expressway, eastbound before US 1. That has a left lane blocked. Also, emergency crews still dealing with an earlier multiple vehicle accident in Miami-Dade on I-95 northbound as you approach that ramp to Florida's Turnpike. That ramp remains closed. Heavy delays starting to build. That's traffic. Amelia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
We've made it easy to find us. Listen to WQAM on FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Wow, that was so easy.
All of our shows are there live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed. Anytime.
Welcome back in here on QAM on this Monday morning. Hollywood, Omar Kelly, Donno, Dan Day along here with you. Starting to get to the bottom of this messy situation here. I've had few people send me some stuff here, Donno, and it looks like apparently they were singing a song, the supporter section, that Messi did not care for. The song,
Really?
like it's a song that you sing at a team when they're not playing well. I don't. This again, all this soccer stuff is way outside
So they
my
were
wheelhouse.
taunting him, and
I
now they're
guess.
trying to get him to come to their events.
Yeah, I guess, man. We just got to find a way to mediate this one and get everyone on the same page and all find a way to get along. Last I checked, that team did win the championship last year. So,
Yeah.
And Messi is, to be quite honest, he's kind enough to grace us with his presence. Like I'm in that camp.
Right, he
You
could have
know,
gone
he-
he couldn't
Yeah.
be playing anywhere in the world. Even at his age, he could play almost any team in the world that he chose to play here.
Messi hasn't spoken to the media in like 2 years, and these fans want them to be acknowledged and recognized. Like, hi.
Well, I always see like with Inter Miami, there was a game a few weeks ago where they gave up like 3 goals or something late and they ended up losing. And I saw that they like sent out like one of their 18-year-old players to like face the music with the media.
After Orlando, they lost to Orlando, and yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. The problem is, Donno, like, I don't view it like I view the other major sports leagues in our country. Like, I see this as more of a, I don't want to keep, call it like a novelty, but like, I see this more as a, like, we just want to see Messi and the rest is all fine. But like, I don't know that like I take it as like life or death as some of these other leagues we have in our country. But I understand why people care, but like, Do I care that Messi doesn't speak to the media after a bad loss? Kind of like whatever, right?
Here's the thing. They are being silent at games in a matter of protest. Is this right, Dan Day?
Yep.
For their unfair treatment of not being acknowledged and recognized. Am I getting it and quoting it accurately?
Yeah, they're protesting in a way, yes, by their silence.
Okay. Put your big boy pants on and suck it up. And so go support your team.
By the way, I just want to announce this with Dolphins training camp coming up in a few months. Fans, if you see Omar and you would like to boo him or sing mean songs to him, you have, by the way, you have a few months to make up.
This is how we do it. Yeah.
You have a few months to make up songs. So whatever it is you fans want to do to Omar, he deserves it at this point. We're not side with the Miami fans. He tried to get in good with the Tua fan base, but that obviously didn't work out.
They didn't like me.
What?
I said they didn't like me either. I'm not a Tua.
No, they didn't. I don't really like anyone except for Tua. But anyway, if you do see Omar at training camp, make sure to say whatever you want to him.
Okay.
Vicious, not vicious, whatever it is you want to say. But
and Omar's going to wave one finger back at you.
Yeah,
he'll
find
out which one.
At you.
Unlike Messi, I greet my fans.
Oh, wow.
I way better.
Omar's a year wiser now, Donno. He had his birthday over the weekend, so.
Oh, happy belated, Omar.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Donno.
Omar kept quiet about it, too.
This is my last year on the 40th floor, so.
Are you 49 now?
Yeah, sir.
Wow. So we got it. 50th birthday. That's a big one, right? Like that's a party.
We got to go to Vegas or something next year.
Yeah.
I'm inviting myself.
Well, Omar hates Vegas, by the way, Donno, in case you didn't know.
Never mind. All right. Well, yeah, I'll go to Vegas to celebrate for you.
It's not a hate. It's just an overrate.
Yeah.
He doesn't care for Vegas. We'll find someone. I don't know what Omar likes, to be quite honest. Every place he travels to, I feel like he's got issue with. But
we'll go to Cleveland.
I actually like Cleveland. I'm one of the few people that don't like.
I knew you were going to say that. All right. You go to Cleveland, I'll go to Vegas.
Cleveland, and I still mean to go to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I haven't done it all these years I've been to Cleveland. Cleveland depends on the time of the year you go, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm San Diego is at the very top of my list, even though they don't have an NFL team. I like New York. I like Boston. Boston's pretty decent. I'm big on Atlanta. I like the Carolinas. I like the Texas teams.
So you like everywhere but Vegas is what you're saying.
No, I've been to Vegas, but I haven't been to Vegas to cover a game. Vegas just has it's just a lot of things that I don't really like, and I could party here. So,
we could do Texas, Omar. We could do a barbecue tour.
I know whatever tour, including you, has to involve brisket and barbecue. Yeah.
And it's got to be. You know what my thing is when we travel and we go to restaurants, right? You know what my big thing is? They got to sell T-shirts at the front. That's how you know it's a good touristy spot. If they sell T-shirts in the front, barbecue places that I went to in Austin, I have T-shirts from all of them, so we're good there, Omar. We could do maybe we'll do Austin. We'll go to Salt Licks and Franklin's, and we'll celebrate your 50th. We got a year to plan for that, though, Omar. Donno, I got to bring one up for you really quick, and Omar, you too. I don't know if you've been down this road. Are you guys familiar with this new popular toy or toys? These dumpling toys. Have you guys seen these? So I had to go to Five and Below. That like $5 store.
It's a good. You save a little money there. It's a good spot.
I don't know. Do you save money there? Because every time I go there, I end up buying a bunch of junk that my kids grab off the shelves. But nevertheless, so I get told that we need to go on Saturday mornings. We did the baseball thing here. There's a baseball thing and then we went over to Five and Below. There's a long line of people outside this place to get a dumpling. Now you're wondering what a dumpling is. It's
I have no idea.
It's basically a stress ball that is shaped like a dumpling, like a dim sum Chinese dumpling type thing, the circle. And it comes in a little wooden dumpling basket or whatever you call those things. And this is like a huge deal. these things. Like people were camped outside the stores for these things. It's that serious. And it's not just those. There's these stress balls that they sell at Target and at like Walgreens called Nidos. Have you guys heard of those?
No, I got to ask my son about these. He might know.
They're essentially, they're just stress balls. And people like camp out for these things. And they buy, like, if they put them on the shelves, they buy them all at once so they could resell them. I was at a card show on Saturday, and that's how I acquired these Nido items. That's exactly what they look like. Thank you, Jamie. So they were selling them at the card show, of course, for 4 times what they sell for. So I had to buy one for my son who really wanted one. But this is like, do you guys remember, Donno, you're more my age, so you would probably remember this. Dan, you too. Do you remember the Tamagotchis when those came out?
Oh, yes, I do. I had one.
To get.
And then when I actually finally bought one, I was in like 5th or 6th grade. And then it was like, I was so disappointed. I'm like, this thing is like hungry. I feed it, it dies in 3 days.
Oh,
like,
that was a little egg thing that.
Yeah, it was like it was so hyped up, and it was such a letdown. But I remember when I was like
a bad parent.
When I was 11 and 12 years old, every kid that was all the rage. The Tamagotchis. Every kid had to have one of those. They all had them in school. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Once I finally got one.
So that was the toy back then. I was telling my son about that. I go, this is kind of like that, silly virtual pet thing.
Do you remember Pogs, Hollywood?
Oh yeah, Pogs were great.
Pogs were awesome.
I don't have any more of them. I don't know if those hold me. Like I assume everything at this point in time holds value to some extent, but I don't know if there's like a market for Pogs.
Yeah, I don't know.
There, but I do remember those. But the irony of this whole thing, Donno, is like I go to Target to try to find one of these stress balls, and they don't have any, but they had Tamagotchis on the shelf.
No way.
Like the reimagining of the Tamagotchi. So it's like it's back. It's very much in stock. But I cannot find these stress balls. They have eluded me. So I got one at a card show. I need to try to find one for the other guy here, the younger one who doesn't know what they are, thankfully, but he sees the bigger one playing with him, so that becomes a problem. But this is like a big thing, man. People were sleeping outside these stores.
And you know what the problem is? It's the nerdy parents ruin this for the kids because the kids just want to play with these dumplings, but the parents are like, well, if I buy one, I can resell it for 4 times the amount, so all the parents wait in line and buy up all the dumplings. So it's like the parents are ruining it for the kids. If you just let the kids buy a stupid stress ball, they can play with them. But the parents get involved and start to resell them, and it ruins the whole thing for the kids.
Well, they don't resell for that much. They sell for like $6, and people are selling them for like 20 or $25. And it's like you got to sell a lot of them, I guess, to earn a decent enough profit. But yeah, man, just very, very strange with these new toys that are very tough to find. And then I don't know if you saw this one, but there was like a stampede at the Aventura Mall.
That I saw
over the weekend.
Those watches.
Over those new Swatch, AP. And those things, by the way, are horrendously ugly. I mean, they are the worst. I like watches. Those things are horrific. I saw someone describe them as they look like vape pens. That's kind of what they look like, right? Those like ridiculous fluorescent colors. And it's not even a watch. It's a pocket watch.
Yeah. Like, I didn't realize those are back in style now. We're going back to like 1860 now with the pocket watches.
Yeah, like what do you even do with it? You clip it to like your belt or your pants? I don't usually even wear a belt. Like, what do you do with it? You tie it on the string of your basketball shorts? Like,
well, you have to start wearing like suits again. Everyone's going to be dressing like it's Peaky Blinders so they can wear their pocket watch. Oh, top of the morning to you, chap. Let me check what time is it right now. Let me pull out my pocket watch. Oh, it's 7:04.
Richie said Swatch is closed and Aventura until further notice. Yeah, man, there was a vicious looking line there. And then there was like a stampede. I don't know what happened.
Video clips, yeah.
Like they had someone from that company like go outside and like, are everyone ready? Go. And like they just like rushed the front of the store. Like what a mess, man. So and I guess people are selling those for like $800-$900 online. I think they sell for what they say $400. I don't. I'm not in the market for one at the moment. I'm not a pocket watch type of guy.
I think it transitions to a regular watch, or I don't know. You have to,
really?
Yeah, it's not. It's a piece, and you can put it on the. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Sounds like you've done your research, Omar. I'm going to dig deeper.
He was there. He was waiting.
Yeah, I'm going to dig deeper into that footage and see if Omar was in that line trying to make his way to the front, knocking people over.
I don't think I've ever been infatuated with a Swatch watch. I don't think there's anybody.
My wife likes the swatches, but she hates as much as she loves swatches because they have all the different varieties. You collect them. She would never wait in line more than like 3 minutes to get a watch.
I have a couple of Simpsons Swatch watches. I mostly kind of like G-Shock watches. I do like those. I have a little of a collection of those, but that's really nutty what we saw over the weekend. Have you guys ever camped out for any item in your life? Is there
Jordans
camped out for?
Really?
Yes.
Omar, I can picture Omar sleeping in the mall for Jordans. I know he's a big Jordan guy.
Put up at 4 a.m. for
4
10 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Donno, have you ever camped out for any item?
No. I'm not. I don't have passions that are in anything that would make me want to camp out. Like there's nothing I'm passionate enough that much about to camp out.
I've camped out as a student for tickets to some game.
Well, that's different though. That's different.
I did. Yeah, I remember there was one when I was in. This is not really the same, but to Omar's point, when I was a student at UM at Miami, that was when I was there when they opened up the Watsco Center. And for the first time Duke ever came down to the Watsco Center, you did have, just for the student tickets, there's a student section, there's a limited amount of seats. You had to get in line like 5 or 6 hours before the game just so you could make sure you got a seat. So I did. That's the closest I've ever come to waiting. Yeah, I waited in line for like 5 hours to watch Duke and Miami, of course.
Dan, you strike me as the kind of guy who's camped out for something. Have you ever camped out?
Yeah, every weekend in front of Jensen's liquor store, I camp out. Just want to be the first person there. Pretty good.
Oh man, the only thing I've ever we in high school, Lincoln Park was playing a concert down here, and Best Buy was like, we're gonna give pairs of tickets to the first 20 people or whatever that show up at our store at 9 in the morning, 10, whenever they open. So we went out there that evening and we set up tents. We stayed out there the entire night, and we were the only people that did it. Nobody else cared. Nobody else did it. So it was all for naught, but it's still a fun time nonetheless. All right, we got to take a pause. We're going to track Joe down in the 8 o'clock hour. I know everyone's been missing him, so we will track Joe down, and we'll close things out with Donno when we come back here on QIM.
I do want to take a moment to tell you about Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Hey, so you're making some decisions right now. This is the time of year. It's getting close to hurricane
Heavy delays continue this morning traveling in Miami-Dade. That traffic stacking up this morning. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. You're slow moving from Florida's Turnpike from Biscayne Drive down to the Don Shula Expressway. Also dealing with an earlier multiple vehicle accident. Still sitting at I-95 northbound as you approach that ramp to Florida's Turnpike. That's traffic. I'm Alia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
You're listening to The Joe Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
We've got plenty of ways for you to listen to your favorite shows and favorite teams on WQAM.
How is that, if I may ask?
We're at FM 104.3, or you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Check it out now.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity.
Welcome back in here on QAM. Hollywood along here with you. Donno, Omar Kelly, Dan Day here. And Donno, I'm going to let you run in a little bit here. Thank you for spending all this time with us over the past few weeks here. Please, if you can, let us know what's coming up here on the Locked On Canes podcast.
Yeah, so I want to peel back a few layers of the recruiting onion here. It's why I'm going to be joined on today's episode of Locked On Canes with E.J. Holland, who's now one of the newest guys to the Miami recruiting beat, but he does a great job. He's at On3 Sports on canesport.com, specifically covering Miami recruiting. I want to kind of pick his brain on how Miami managed to pull off these recent flips for Dante Wright, the 5-star corner who they flipped from Georgia, A. King Hall over the weekend, the 4-star corner that they flipped from Oregon. And I want to pick EJ's brain on who's going to be next in the class because, again, Miami's waiting on an announcement from A.J. Randall, a 4-star linebacker this week. But as we found out over the weekend, not all the guys that they land are like planned announcements. Sometimes they surprise you. So who else might land in the near future? So we'll talk about all of that today with E.J. Holland of Cane Sport. The episode should be coming out at 11:30 a.m. on Locked On Canes on YouTube, all the audio platforms, wherever you get your podcasts.
Are we getting less of those big announcements? I don't seem to see those as much anymore. I know Matthews did one on Friday, but I guess there's not really this National Signing Day thing is kind of lost its luster here through the new college football calendar, Donno. We don't see a ton of those anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed the last cycle, especially when I say cycle, I mean like last year, December, National Signing Day. In the case of Miami and a lot of the other big programs, most of their commitments were done like pretty early. So it's like you'll still have a few guys on National Signing Day who may kind of hold out to make a decision closer to then. But yeah, it feels like I'm getting older here. Like 20 years ago, I didn't follow recruiting nearly as closely back then, but it did seem like a lot of the guys would announce like on National Signing Day, which used to be in February even back then. Nowadays, you get announcements a lot earlier, and I think it makes sense that a lot of these players they want to decide as early as possible so they can sort of start recruiting other people. And then now, the main National Signing Day is in December. There is still one in February, but the advantage of signing in December is you can enroll early. A lot of these players are able to graduate high school a semester early so they can start practicing with their team in January, then into spring. So, yeah, the announcements kind of happen whenever now. A lot of them happen in the summer. Not that many players wait until December anymore.
Donno, thank you for the time. Thanks for hanging with us here this morning, and make sure to acknowledge your fans when you're out there. All right, don't be.
I give them the one finger salute is what I do, like Messi.
All right, fair enough. Donno, thank you. Catch him on the Locked On Canes podcast. We're going to take a pause. Coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll see if we can track down Joe, see what he's been up to here past week or so. So we will look for Joe Rose when we come back here. The 8 o'clock hour is next on QAM.
Hey, Marlin fans, the Marlins will be home next Monday to take on the Atlanta
Sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us, Doral Volkswagen, DoralVolkswagen.com. The Marlins open a 4-game series tonight against the Braves at 6:40. Max Meyer gets the start. Messi and Bertarame scored as Inter Miami defeated Portland Timbers 2-0. The Cavs blew out the Pistons in Game 7. They advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. Tonight, it's Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and the Thunder. That tips off at 8:30. And it's Game 7 between the Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres in the NHL playoffs. That's going to start at 7:30. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Skies are starting to clear up a little bit, so you're going to get some in and out sun throughout the rest of the day. Temperatures in the mid-80s. I am Dan Day. Time now to go back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, welcome back in here on QAM on this beautiful Monday morning. We're going to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale, one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, where we are joined by Joe Rose. We have found him. Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm here in Northern California, and I'm doing great. Thank you. And should I stay or should I go? I'm asking myself that right now.
Are you in Milpitas or in Marysville? Where are you? Just give us like an approximate.
No, don't do that. Don't do that to the big fella this morning. I'm in beautiful Marysville, California.
Yeah. That's a neighboring town of.
No, that would be a few hours away before we get back into the whole thing again. Yeah, we're probably a good solid with traffic 3 to 3.5 hours away from Big Bow and Milpitas, California. Yeah, down by San Jose.
Gotcha. How's everything been? You all right over there?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. I'll tell you what, there's been just unbelievable. I got to tell you, the most amazing thing, Woody, has got to be that all these sports are going on and the NFL releases their schedule and it just goes right to the top. It just goes right to the top. Whether you're a bad team and you find out you're not going to get any primetime games, or whether you're one of the top teams and you find out you're going to be playing every day of the week, because they took 6 or 7 teams and they just decided, hey, man, we did it with the Kansas City Chiefs. We had them play just about every day during the year. They saw just about every day of the week, and now there's going to be more doing it. But it's crazy. It was crazy to watch the popularity, and everybody wanted to see who's going to be on the schedule and when, and who's getting primetime games, and who's going to get a lot of those 1 o'clock games and 4 o'clock games. And we're right there.
Joe, the schedule was one thing. How about the social media videos that all these teams, some of these teams look like they hired movie studios to put these videos together. That was the talk of the show on Friday. And we had Mike Florio on, and we were talking about all these videos that these teams are putting out, and some of them were really good.
Yeah, I did see him. I tried to make it a point to see him because they have. I thought the Chargers probably the best team at taking jabs at people. And then you had the Raiders that came out with everybody wondering what's going to happen and who's going to be the starting quarterback between Cousins and Mendoza, the first overall pick. And then they got them there together, man. It was like the Raiders are kind of a likable team from the dark uniforms and being the bad guys of the NFL, and they're those two. I thought it was hilarious. I thought they were the winners.
Well, speaking of the Raiders, Joe, we get them to start. The Dolphins will have 2 weeks on the road out on the West Coast, a trip that usually they traditionally would stay out there for those games, right? No need to travel back and forth, but you got a Sunday. Opening Sunday against the Raiders in Vegas, and then the following Sunday you'll be out in San Francisco for another 425 games. So 2 to start on the road, Joe.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're right. The history has been in recent years that we stay out there for those games and make the best. I think it's a great game to start with, to be honest. The Raiders sitting there, not sure how good they are. They have they've done a lot of losing here. I mean, when you get the number 1 overall pick, you know how bad things have been. So it's really a good game for the Dolphins to start with. It really is for this young team, and the growing pains that are going to go with it, and see what young players look good and how quickly this thing can come together. I think starting with the Raiders, if you got to start on the road, that's a good place to go.
You don't get a ton of games, Joe, where you would think that sun side of Hard Rock Stadium is going to be too much of an advantage for the Dolphins here. You do get the Chiefs at 1 o'clock on a Sunday in September. You get the Bengals the first or second week of October there at for a 1 o'clock game. But then you don't have another game at home till November when you get New England. So Miami is going to be a little bit limited on that sun side advantage that they usually like to exploit, Joe.
I'm throwing that out this year, Woody, just because of this unique situation the Dolphins find themselves in, and everything we've beaten up over the last 3 or 4 months, cleaning the house, and I don't mean coaches and front office. I'm talking about players and just coming in with this young roster. It's not even about who you play. It's not about the heat. It's not about the cold. It's just going to be about the development of this team. It just is. I think they're going to win some games. I don't think they're going to go 1-16, but it's about getting better as this season goes on, sticking together. Who's going to get better? Who's going to not play well? Who's going to jump over the top of expectations and look great? I just looking at those kind of things. This is such a different year, and I know it's about winning, man. Of course, nobody wants to get blown out. Nobody wants to leave the stadium losing by 28 points, or at halftime you're down 7, and by the end of the third quarter you're down 20-something points. Like seemed like it happened a lot last year. It's just about how quickly can this young team, how good's Malik Willis going to be, how quickly can the offensive line come together, how will the top draft picks play, how will some of the guys that came in as free agents on cheap contracts, how many of them are going to be keepers and look real good, and so I'm kind of looking at that stuff. And then how are your veteran players coming back, and the Achane signing him I thought was huge for this team to keep him, and it was important because your general manager and head coach said we're going to keep Devon Achane, and most people didn't believe that was going to happen. They're going, no way. They're just trying to get the price up. They're going to trade him. They're just waiting to get the right pick. And I think it's a good message for a 24-year-old superstar running back with ridiculous speed and his game-breaking ability. I thought that was really for the psyche of the fan base as well as the guys on that team that you keep him.
Yeah, Joe, and we were talking about it last week. I find this season to be actually a whole heck of a lot more intriguing than last season. Last season, it was almost like, all right, we just got to wait this out until, it comes to a crashing end and everyone gets fired. This year, there's there are some very interesting storylines around this team. And I think you hit on a lot of them there. You have a new quarterback. Finally, you have, a new coach, a new GM. Can this guy draft? How is this Proctor Ruben Bain thing going to shake out? Like, there's a lot of very intriguing storylines here for this team. And I do think one of the biggest ones too is, can John Eric Sullivan competently draft, right? Because this was a large draft for them as well. And you want to see that, like, all right, we have a guy in place that can hit on some players.
Yes. We had the big draft class. It's his first. Everybody wants to see what his work's going to look like. Obviously, it's attached to the head coach and his coaching staff to develop in their system as quickly as possible. But yeah, and then hey, before you even get to the draft, let's go back to Malik Willis. And people went, wow. To me, when those two got together and realized one was going to be the GM and one was going to be the head coach, that decision was made real quickly, Woody, real quickly on who they were going to target to be their quarterback. And it had nothing to do with the draft at all. It had to do with, they saw this guy. They know him better than anybody else. We spent days and days and days talking about that. So are they right on it? Are they going to see enough that go, hey, that's the future. We'll get him better players. He's going to be our guy. And then how do you use him? He's got great speed. He's got a big arm. I'm really curious to see now that he's really, for the first time in his career, not looking over his shoulder. He's going to be the starting quarterback. And the head coach and GM went all in on him. So, yeah, I would say John Eric Sullivan with his first draft and all the first, 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. And maybe your best player of the whole group's going to be out at least half the season. Bell. So I just, there's going to be some great stories to watch. And then do they develop like last year's class, which I call the slow developing draft class? A lot of them played a lot better in the second half, especially on the defensive line. Or are we going to have some guys that come right in pretty fast and play at a high level, keep their confidence, and we just see them get better and better and better? So, yeah, there's some great stories there. Before you start going, we got the Chiefs at home, how do we match up and this? Because right now, let's be honest, man, we have the unknown of more than anybody else in the NFL with so many young guys and such a new roster, with getting rid of all the guys that they got rid of, which, by the way, most of them I had no problem with. I thought it was a great move. It needed to be done, probably waited too long, probably sold ownership 1 year too long on, no, this is the team, we can be really good. In reality, I know a lot of people out there listening didn't think last year's team was going to have a chance.
Well, Joe, one quarterback that did come back is Aaron Rodgers. We talk a lot about him here on the show, and is he going to come back? Is he going to go full time into podcasting? Like, what is he going to do with his life here? Him and his wife decided they're going to stay in Pittsburgh. Joe, one more year.
Yeah, so not surprised by that. He was able, number one, to do it on his own terms. They asked him if he could do it at the draft or before the draft so they could kind of get it together. I'm guessing he must have given him a good idea on what he was going to do, but he wanted to do it and finalize it on his terms, and now he's going to be around for, OTAs and a little mini camp. I think he wanted to get a little bit more money on that contract with some incentives. I think he got that. But I felt like he wanted to come back. He had a pretty good year. We saw him on Monday Night Football. He played great against the Dolphins. I mean, just to see it up close and some of the throws he made in that game. But not surprised he's coming back. And I think he feels, if you watch Aaron Rodgers, he feels like he won by being able to do it on his terms, right? Like, oh, you told me you wanted it done before the draft. Nah, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to do that. And he may say it was leverage to get more money. He may say he truly didn't know what he was going to do. But I think most people thought he was coming back, right? Usually if you're done, you're like, hey, man, I'm done, cutting off a bad year. And I think he looked at the Steeler team offensively, what they have. They got him some more receivers, and he said, all right, let's do it.
All right, Joe. Speaking of let's do it here, we got the conference finals coming up here in the NBA. I just want to get your take on what we've seen so far. Another player who gets into that conversation, and we could do this certainly when you get back, but LeBron James in that conversation for, does he retire? Does he come back for one more run here? So he's in that discussion. But right now out in the West, Joe, we got the Thunder and the Spurs, and which should be a pretty intriguing series.
Oh, great series. I agree. What the big fella in San Antonio has done has been unbelievable, just coming into his own. And then Oklahoma City, well, there's nothing to be said. They haven't lost yet, but that's been a great story. I think one of the biggest disappointments is you only had to watch half that game last night in the East.
Yeah.
Detroit just looked terrible for the number one seed in the East. They were horrible last night. Cleveland played one of their best games, and New York they've had a little bit of a vacation to get healthy here, but man, they have been, talk about a team coming together and playing great and should be 100% healthy by the time that series starts up.
And this, ESPN's already got the final set. They got Thunder and Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to have their hands full with that Cavs team. What do you think about that one out on the East Coast here?
I like the Knicks to win that series. I do, But Cavs, you talk about two personalities. But when Mitchell's going, I don't trust Harden ever, James Harden, but he got a lot of support from his teammates last night. But yeah, I see the Knicks, and again, Oklahoma City's going to be a tough out for San Antonio. This is new territory for that really talented San Antonio team. But it's going to be tough, man. That team in Oklahoma City, they walk a little different. The confidence when they come on the court, and the best player in the NBA. That's a pretty good combination to go out there.
All right, Joe, I want to move over to the Canes here. I know we're bouncing around on you here, but I'm trying to get to everything you've missed here over the past week. But the Canes, speaking of miss, they did miss on a big-time name on Friday. They did get some more recruits over the weekend, however, but Friday's announcement was a big one there, Joe.
Yeah, so Matthew McCoy, the big offensive tackle out of St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the top couple of recruits in the country, top offensive tackle, ends up going to Texas A&M. My phone has blown up a little bit from the amount of money I spent at St. Thomas Aquinas on children going to school there. But look, some are going to say it was a money grab. A&M spending a lot of money. Miami spends obviously a lot of money too. He felt it was better for him. I don't have a problem. Listen, I know it was disappointing. I was hoping he'd stay home. They're in pretty good shape, though, with the young Woody Weir at spring football.
Mm-hmm.
They got some really, really talented, and I'm not just talking about Cantwell. They got some really talented offensive tackles. And Matthew McCoy wasn't going to be handed the job. He was going to come in, but look, for the amount of money he's going to get, McCoy's going to get as a top tackle. It's big money. And he probably, wherever he goes, he's going to start day one because of the money. And obviously he's got a lot of talent there. But you're not going to get all the guys. You're just not. When you step back, and I see some guys taking shots at Mario a little bit, like he may have to go back and reevaluate why certain guys don't want – they got a really good offensive line coach. I saw somebody try to write, well, A&M's offensive line has got a lot of guys going to the pros. Listen, man, that's a really good program. Mario's going against the top programs. He's not going to get every guy, including every guy in his backyard. And I know this one stung a little bit because he is in your backyard. But you're not going to get them all. You're going against all the big boys that have all the big money, that have all the great programs. You're not going to get them all. You're going to lose out to the Big Ten. You're going to lose out to the SEC. You're not going to get them all. But Mario's going to be right in there with all of them. I just don't see a negative. Yeah, I was bummed out when I heard, again, when a St. Thomas, you want to get the top guys from American Heritage Plantation. You want to get the top guys from Chaminade. You want to get the top guys from the 3 or 4 private schools and the 2 or 3 public schools in South Florida. You don't get them every year. You don't get guys like Matthew McCoy every day, but you're just not going to get them all. And you know what? At the end of the day, more than ever, not everybody wants to stay home and play. Some guys truly do want to go away. And with the amount of money now that everybody's making, you can pay for mom and dad to fly to every game on the weekends, and it's just a different world. So I didn't take it, hey, man, I'll take Mario recruiting against anybody. Going out there, he's going to give it everything. And by the way, don't think he's given up on Matthew McCoy, by the way. And if Matthew McCoy gets a little homesick, don't think Matthew McCoy won't be on the watch list to come on back home if you want to.
I didn't want to interrupt you. It was a pretty good rant there, but Mark Matthews from St. Thomas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was. Mark Matthews. Sorry.
Yeah,
right.
that's okay. I didn't want to interrupt you because you were going. You got a pretty good.
No.
Everyone knows what you're talking about there. I didn't
want to talk about Matthew McCoy. I'm sorry. I was talking about Matthew McCoy, the guard tackle for the Canes. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Mark Matthews.
Okay. That's okay. Joe, a few more for you here, and Omar Kelly is back with us. I know Omar wants to jump in and hit you with a few here, but we had an incident. And I know you may not know a lot about this. I don't know that the news has traveled however you guys get your news out there in the mountains of Northern California. But Dan filled us in on something. There's a little bit of a friction, Dan. Is that a good way to describe this here, between the supporter groups and Messi? Joe, have you heard at all about this?
No.
Dan, can you fill him in? Can you tell him the story here? I want to get Joe's reaction to this.
So supporters groups are like super fan groups of soccer teams, and they coordinate, they go to away games, they go to every single game, they cheer. They're basically the backbone of your fan base. And over the years, they have complained that Inter Miami hasn't shown them enough love and recognition. And last night, it kind of came to a head because none of the big stars ever recognized them, waved to them, thanked them. So they didn't cheer last night for the first 85 minutes of the game. And Messi and those guys didn't like it. Then they started kind of chanting at them and singing them kind of razzy songs, and Messi waved his finger at him.
Listen, I think for the amount of money the fans pay, if you're a superstar as good as you are, and he is great to this day every time he plays, watching the highlights again last night, this morning on how he's playing. But you do need to, if you can't just go, I'm playing, screw you, that's enough by the way I play on the field. You got to do more. And you're saying he flipped them off last night? Is that what you're saying?
No, he just waved a finger.
No, he didn't flip him off. He gave him like a Dikembe Mutombo like finger wag.
Oh, I got you. All right.
If he would have flipped him off, that might have been front page ESPN news.
Yeah. That would have been Rory McIlroy telling a guy to go F himself. Yeah, after coming out the sand. Yeah, that would have been a big story. Yeah, man. Listen, he can do better. He can do better as a star player. He could do better, man. Those fans have been loyal. They have from day one. A lot of them, when they got that team, were jumping up and down, drinking beers with the Moss brothers and David Beckham and all the rest of them, and, putting their clubs together. Yeah. Hey, man, it only takes a second, right? Only takes a second to blow them a kiss and fist pump towards them and celebrate with them a little bit. If that's what they want, give it to them. You can't just throw somebody out there and go, we're giving you Messi, shut up, pay the prices, and that's it. I totally agree. I'm with the fans on this one. If it bothers you, all right, it's important that you want them to be appreciated, then do it. Do it. Don't fight it. Just do it. It takes all of a few seconds. Just do it. It's not a big deal. You with me on that all day, Dan Day?
I'm 100% with you. All they want is some recognition, a wave. That's all it takes. A little wave. It takes 1 calorie of effort to wave to the fans.
I was with the fans too, Joe. You'll be shocked to know who was against the fans on this one.
Oh,
well, who do you think? Omar Kelly is here, so obviously.
And let me see. Omar's going to say that, hey, that guy being great, you're lucky to have him. He's the best player. By the way, he is the best player in the MLS again this year.
The guy doesn't even have to talk to the media, Joe.
He what?
He doesn't have to talk to the media. Why should he have to wave the fans?
No. Listen, I agree. I agree. He's got the best deal around. I mean, for as great as he is, it's basically just come watch me play, and that's it, and leave me alone. I totally agree. It's a different deal than we're seeing in other sports. I know he's Spanish only, but you can do better. You can do better.
We got a lot of Spanish media members who can do the interviews in Spanish, but we just get no message.
True. No, you're right. No. You're right from that standpoint. You don't. I don't know how often they bother him. Hey, man, they're trying to keep him healthy. I mean, happy. They're trying to keep him. They go to bat for him when he goes, hey, I'm going to go play in another match, and I'm going to have to miss this one, and they bend over backwards, man, to have him, and they have to, because I don't know what this thing looks like without him, guys, at the other side of this story. Let's be honest. He is that team. He just is that team. Whether he's passing, whether he's scoring, some of the things that he still does at 38 years old is still as good a highlight as there is on TV that guy scoring a goal. And I'm talking about in any sport, some great catch, a guy jumping over a fence or guys making one-handed catches or anything else. A messy goal, some of the things that he does dribbling around in there is with his feet is very incredible what he does. And I get it, but and they're playing off that, man. They're selling those. God only knows how many people have tickets right now because of Messi, and what would it look like without Messi? And I think it'd look a hell of a lot different. I think that's the reason the Moss brothers worked on that for years, and we kind of laughed. I didn't know if it'd ever get done till the very end of his career. And the fact that he's still showing up, playing at a high level, I compliment him. I really do, because he could come down here and play 10 minutes a night and wave to people, have an occasional goal, and he still wants to be great. And so late in his career, I have a lot of respect from that standpoint. But you still, I don't care how good you are, how much money you have, if you are the greatest player to ever play the game, a lot of people think he is, you still ought to give your fan base a little bit of love. They're not asking you to stay after the game and sign autographs for 2 hours.
All right, Joe. Appreciate you stopping by this morning with us. Give us an update.
We got a little messy. We got a little messy. I know
you had a lot of sports buildup, man. I could sense it. I could sense it when we talked yesterday. You've been waiting to get a lot off your chest here, so I'm glad we could.
On Mark Matthews, somebody writes an article, and it's like Mario Cristobal has to go back and reevaluate his recruiting style. And I'm like, are you?
Mm-hmm.
I started to say the S word. Are you kidding me? Like, we're in the ball game more than we have in the last 25, 30 years. Now, he's got more money to work with. He's got a better product to work with. He's got better everything. UM's, President Joe's picked up everything over there, and it's starting to look like a first-class football program with everything they're doing is first class. But some guy goes, you get beat out on a guy, and then you get beat out on another 4-star guy, and then you find out like the 5 top schools are all going after the same guy. George is in there and some other ones. He's going to get his share, all right? And there is a little sting when it's in your backyard. Don't get me wrong. Losing, especially when your athletic director is a St. Thomas guy. I know your head coach is a UM guy, and your head coach over there, known both those guys, both my friends. I know where their heart is. So when a guy makes that decision to go somewhere else, it stings a little bit. But saying that, you're not going to get them all. And some guys, now more than ever, not everybody stays home anymore. Not everybody's on that I want to stay home program. Absolutely. And I think a lot of that has to do with money.
Well, Joe, we appreciate you hanging with us here this morning.
Hey, Woody, money takes care. If you're a little homesick, money can take care of that. It's amazing what money can do.
Money can't fix the format, though, Joe. We're running a little behind here, so we got to let you know
how when you do that to me. When you do that to me, now you know how I feel.
I know. I take the blame for that.
You and Omar have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Joe. Thank you. Joe Rose, kind enough to join us here this morning. We got to take a break. We'll get all caught up. More to come on QAM.
I'll tell you what else is a good scenario. Everybody going to Atlantic Men's Clinic.
By Hyundai, with the support of the Miami Beach Visitor and Convention Authority.
Traffic on WQAM is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV. In stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Traffic continues in Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, 95 Express and southbound. You're slow from Miami Gardens Drive to Northwest 125th Street. Also seeing a lot more traffic along the Dolphin Expressway eastbound from 137th Avenue to 87th Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Alia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Come rock with Quiet Riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The Casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the Casino at Dania Beach.
Cool ways to listen to us.
Okay, I'd like to hear them then.
On FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Go for it.
Good morning. Welcome back in here on WQAM. It is Monday, and the weather is changing rapidly here. We had some beautiful sunshine outside. Well, it was raining this morning, and we had some nice sunshine for a little bit there. Dan, I think, nailed the weather report because I see clouds starting to roll in again here. So I feel like we're starting to get to those summer weather months here where it's like sunny one moment, and then it's a full-blown hurricane the next.
During this time of season, Dan can just go and describe the weather as bipolar because it'll be 1 minute or schizophrenic. 1 minute it's bright and beautiful. The next minute it's sunny and cloudy. It's raining and showers. And then 15 minutes later, we'll be back to sunny and cloudy again. That's just South Florida, but I don't complain about it because I could be in Seattle or Portland where it's like raining all day. It's nice and gloomy. So, hey, I'm here. I'm enjoying my sunshine.
Well, Omar, we have that going on, and then we do have this soccer story going on that you're trying to get to the bottom of. This is an interesting story here. This Messi thing. So
I'm doing some research.
Omar is doing his best journalism impression here and trying to get to the bottom of this thing.
La Familia, I have learned, is the fan base that is at the root of the dissension, and they're upset because they're not acknowledged enough. And I don't know. They kept their drums at home. They stayed silent for 85 minutes of a 90-minute match. And what does this mean for a team that just won an MLS Cup?
The silent treatment, Omar. The silent. You never like to get the silent treatment. That's never good. Right? That's when they're upset, you get the silent treatment.
That works in marriages. I'm not sure it works in sports.
Somebody said, Omar, you don't know soccer etiquette. Yeah, I don't either, to be quite honest. So I'm learning about this as we go. Dan,
please explain the soccer.
I told etiquette. You, I saw a tweet yesterday about Messi not, acknowledging the fans or whatever, and I saw there was replies under it were like dismissing the reporting and this is not true and this and that. And then Dan brought it up this morning. And so now I guess it has some legs here. And, we'll see if Omar can get to the bottom of this story here. I know you're working some sources now.
We've got Michelle Kaufman, who covers the MLS team for the Miami Herald, going to join. She's been actually covering.
She is, okay.
She's been covering this.
Omar really did some work here. Now he's got a guest lined up for us.
I also learned that Solana should know about this. He's got an MLS podcast, and they've been discussing this. Yes, he does. And look at you. You don't even know about your peers.
I don't. Where's Solana right now? Well, can we wake him up? Can we? Let's get.
We've got Michelle. Michelle's coming on at 9:00, so she's
all right. That's good. That's good. So let's do this. Let's take a pause. We'll get caught up here. We will get to the bottom of the story apparently here, and we'll see what's going on over at the new stadium here with Inter Miami. So we'll take a pause. We have more to come on QAM.
Man, I want to talk to you about credit card debt consolidation. Could you use it
Their vehicle must be identically equipped as our in-stock vehicle used for comparison. Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is.
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's Ed Moore Sawgrass Cadillac's Road to 80 sales event. Drive a 2026 Optic Sport, $329 a month. Approved credit courtesy transportation vehicle stock TS 163,531. Less than 5,000 miles, 24 month lease, zero security, $39.99 down, plus tax, title, registration, and other government fees. Includes other fees. Details of dealer.
The University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute's physicians deliver the precision of academic medicine to every pro, adult, and youth athlete. For your best recovery, go with pro-level expert care. Recover your game at uhealthsports.com.
Traffic on WQAM is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV in stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Heavy delays continue this morning traveling in Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, the Dolphin Expressway eastbound from 137th Avenue to 87th Avenue. Also slow moving along 95 Express and southbound from Miami Gardens Drive to Northwest 125th Street and out of Broward County. Seeing delays for you as well. I-595 eastbound from Marina Mall Boulevard to before I-95. That's traffic. I'm Alia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Come rock with Quiet Riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The Casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the Casino at Dania Beach.
Your favorite shows, the games of your favorite South Florida teams. We've got them
right here on the Q, baby.
Catch us on FM 104.3 or listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Don't miss a thing.
All right, welcome back in here on WQAM. It is Monday morning. Hollywood, Omar Kelly, Dan Day along here with you. We got a couple of giveaways that we are doing here. Let me tell you about this one first here, Omar. We have Machine Gun Kelly fans. We are. Is there any relation, by the way, Omar?
No, but I am interested. I'm a fan. I'm listening.
Okay, so Omar's long-lost cousin, Machine Gun Kelly, no relation to Omar Kelly there. We're giving away tickets to see his Lost Americana show with Wiz Khalifa, May 27th at I Think Financial Amphitheater. For your chance to win, you can enter now at WQAM.com/contest. This is a Live Nation show. So Omar's cousin, Machine Gun Kelly.
May 27th. I'm down. I'm interested. Let's rock.
All right, we'll see if we can't get Omar set up with some tickets there for that one. And as Omar mentioned, Michelle Kaufman is going to join us as we try to get to the bottom of this whole messy situation.
Familia.
Yeah, Familia. We'll figure it out. We're going to figure this thing out here. And really quick, cigar lovers, we got a chance for you to win sold-out VIP tickets to Drew Estates Florida Barn Smoker this November. Throughout the day, you'll enjoy premium and VIP cigars, curated food and beverage experiences, food trucks, drinks, and more. To be eligible to win, enter now at WQAM.com/contest. You must be 21 and up to attend. Valid ID is required at event registration. So there you go, Omar. We got two things on the website that we are getting people registered for. So we have that going on. And again, as you mentioned there, Michelle Kaufman will join us. Thank you to Joe for stopping by. Thank you to Donno, who joined us as well. We are expecting Joe back full time, by the way, tomorrow. So we are hoping to get him back. Omar, you'll wait on deck though, just in case. But we are expecting
I'm
Joe
the pinch hitter. Yes,
back tomorrow. Real quick, just some headlines, things going on right now. The Marlins are back in town here. You can catch all the games on WQAM. We are the new home of Marlins baseball here. And speaking of Marlins baseball, we have our Locked On Marlins host, the Locked On Marlins podcast. Jamie is here with us. Jamie, give us a preview if you can here. We got the Marlins in town now the whole week. So give us a preview of what's coming up here, not only on the field, but on the podcast as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up on the podcast. We have an episode dropping later today, kind of going over the weekend series that just happened in Tampa Bay. Marlins dropped 2 out of 3 in that series. They'll return home. They'll face the Braves this week and then the Mets this weekend. So we'll preview that as well. And we'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on with the podcast. Marlins had a tough weekend in Tampa Bay. Kind of had a chance to win yesterday's ball game, but let it slip through their hands. That's been kind of a consistent story for them so far this season. So it's been a little bit frustrating, but they're a young team. So they're still kind of figuring things out, working out the kinks of the season and developing some guys.
Jamie, from your standpoint, what is the biggest issue plaguing the Marlins right now? Is it timely hitting? Is it getting guys on base? Is it starting pitching? Is it closing out games from a pitching standpoint, or is it all of the above?
Honestly, it's consistency right now, I'd say, is the biggest thing for the Marlins, because we've seen flashes of all of their components playing well. Like, we've seen the starting pitching be well. We've seen the bullpen pitch well. We've seen them hit in certain moments and come through, but they've had trouble putting the puzzle pieces together, if that makes sense. Like, we've seen flashes of it, but when the pitching is going well, the bats go cold. When the pitching comes out hot, it seems like, you can't score any runs, and vice versa as well. So I'd say the biggest thing is consistency and just playing clean. We've seen some sloppy errors from them. We've seen some big time mistakes and not being able to close out games that they've had a bunch of these coin flip type games where it's a 1-run game at the end of it, and they let those slip more often than not. So I'd say just being more consistent, playing a little bit clean, and being able to finish out games is kind of their big bugaboo right now, I'd say.
Gotcha. All right, make sure to check out the Locked On Marlins podcast. Jamie does a great job on that, wherever you consume your podcast. We're going to do Omar Kelly's best attempt at investigative. Is that the right word? Journalism?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Investigative journalism.
Or how about we just find out what the real story is?
Yeah, but I like to give it a fancy name here. So Omar has done the legwork here on this one. Michelle Kaufman, who I'm a big fan of. She does a great job at the Herald. She covers Canes hoops, all the Canes stuff. I know she covers Inter Miami. So we'll get to the bottom of this whole situation here when we come back. The 9 o'clock hour is next on QAM.
Tell you what is not new here in town.
selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This is WQAM-FM and HD1 Miramar, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. WQAM-AM Miami, an Odyssey sports station. The home of champions. Home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. The 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Miami Hurricanes basketball. And now, the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Doral Volkswagen, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us, Doral Volkswagen or DoralVolkswagen.com. Messi and Bertarame scored as Inter Miami defeated the Portland Timbers 2-0 yesterday. The Marlins lost to the Rays 6-3. They open a 4-game series against the Braves tonight at 6:40. The Cavs, Game 7 winners against the Pistons. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks. Tonight, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and the Thunder at 8:30. And Aaron Rai won the PGA Championship shooting a 9-under. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. In and out throughout the day, interspersed sun with clouds, chances of rain. Temperatures in the mid-80s. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Welcome back in here on this Monday morning on QAM Hollywood. Omar Kelly, Dan Day, along here with you, and we are going to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, ToyotaofHollywood.com, where we are joined by the Miami Herald's Michelle Kaufman. She does a great job covering soccer, Inter Miami. She covers Canes Hoops as well. I love her work on Canes Hoops. Michelle, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. How are you?
I'm fine. There's always drama with this team, so always something to talk about.
Yeah, can you basically fill us in on this story here? There's a little bit of a little tension between Messi and the fan supporter groups. Can you basically fill us in on what's going on?
Yeah, well, so the game last night. So first of all, the supporter groups. There's several supporter groups, but they all collectively are called La Familia, the family. You know, they are the family. It's a bunch of supporter groups, but they are the most diehard fans. They show up rain or shine, lightning delays. It doesn't matter. They come really early in the morning. They bring giant drums. They sing from the first whistle, opening whistle to closing whistle. They are singing. They are chanting. They are bringing the atmosphere. You know, I would compare it to the Cameron Crazies, you know, at Duke basketball games. These are the fans who are the most diehard and who bring the atmosphere to the games. Anyone who's ever been to an Inter Miami game, you know, they don't sit actually. Their seats don't even have seats. They stand in the north stands and they create great atmosphere for all the games. So anyway, yesterday I go out there for the game against Portland Timbers, which was going to be interesting anyway because Phil Neville was the coach and he's the former coach of Miami. And all of a sudden the game starts and it's quiet. It is eerily quiet in the building, even though it was basically full, 26,700 people. And it was quiet for that number of people, especially when you're expecting, where are the drums? Where are the chants? Where is the noise? And then come to learn when I reached out to some of the supporters, because I know some of them. So I started texting what's going on. And they basically, they were staging a silent protest. They decided not to bring no drums, no instruments, no flags. That's another thing. They bring giant flags and banners and stuff. There was none of that. They were just, you know, very quietly there like the other normal fans. And they said that they were protesting that the previous 4 home games, that the players did not come over and salute them after the games. Now, they had not won any of those games, so they were pretty grumpy after those games. They either tied or they lost. They lost 1 and they tied 3, but they had not won in their new stadium, and it was kind of frustrating for the team. So maybe, you know, that was one of the reasons. But anyway, they still felt that win or lose, it's just sort of a tradition that you come over to where La Familia is, and you kind of raise your arms and you salute them, you clap to them or whatever. Anyway, they felt that they've been ignored by the players and that they put so much energy into these games and into these teams that they just want a wave. They would like a wave from Lionel Messi and his teammates. And Messi in particular, especially, just has been darting off the field, going right into the tunnel because he's, extremely competitive. So anyway, so they decide to stage this protest. But what happened then, with 5 minutes to go, all of a sudden they start singing and they start chanting. But it was not exactly a supportive song. It was a song where they took an Argentine chant that everyone from Argentina knows. It's sort of a derogatory chant, but they changed the words and they made it, basically the translation would be, hey players, hey players, acknowledge your fans, salute your people. That's all we ask for. All right. So they chanted that over and over and over. It was very loud. They were chanting, and then they win the game. They won the game 2-0. And Messi and Suarez and Rodrigo de Paul, who are his two best friends on the team, they all kind of waved at the east stands. They waved at the south stands. They waved at the west stands. But they did not wave at La Familia, and they went off the field. Another group of players did go, the younger players and the newcomers of the team did go over and waved at them. So anyway, that was the big controversy. So, the controversy is that those fans in La Familia, they're the ones who were here before Messi, and they're the ones who are going to be here after Messi. They are fans of Inter Miami. These are local people who are diehard fans of Inter Miami. These are people that were like begging MLS to have a team in Miami, and they've been there from day one, and they're going to be here after Messi retires. Much of the rest of the stadium that is wearing pink number 10 shirts, they are Messi fans, and he has a global, people worship him all over the globe, and they are there to see Messi, and they love Messi, and they're there to see Messi, but La Familia loves Messi too, but they also love the rest of the team. So they kind of think that the entire team should acknowledge them as the real diehard fans. So that's the controversy. The Messi fans are saying, come on, guys, grow up. The team, his responsibility to you is to win the game, and they won the game. They won the game 2-0. What are you whining about? So that's the controversy. Do the players, and does Messi and the other players, do they owe the fans anything other than a fantastic, dazzling, dribbling performance on the field? That's the question.
Well, Michelle, I think it's fascinating, to be quite honest. Like I don't understand why Messi and those guys can't just acknowledge them. It seems like that would be the easy answer here, but I am with you on that. That those fans, I saw them there beforehand, before Messi got here, and you're right, they will be here after. How the overall handling of Messi though, and I know you cover the team on a daily basis here, so I know that they don't put him out. Like they had that rough loss where they gave up 3 goals late, and he doesn't come out to speak to the media. That one of the young players does. How do they handle Messi for the most part over there? Like, does he do a lot of media? Does he do no media? Like, what's his deal?
Well, it's funny that you say, how do they handle Messi? Nobody handles Messi. The question is, how does Messi handle the team, the league? Listen, I've been covering him now since he arrived in June of 2023. Lionel Messi, whether we in the media or the fans or whatever like it or not, because we have American standards about how the athletes deal with the media and with fans and everything. They're accessible. LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, these people talk to the media daily, weekly, whatever. Lionel Messi is bigger. He's bigger than the team. He's bigger than the league, to be perfectly honest. He's bringing this club $300 million in revenue a year. That is something that no other player on the planet can do. And so he doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do. And so he has spoken to the local media exactly one time. It was on August 17th of 2023. That's the last time that the local media, that we got to speak to him.
He hasn't spoken to you guys in 3 years?
We have not spoken to him in going on 3 years. That is correct.
Come on, no press conference after any match, never?
Nothing, ever, not ever, not
MLS
one.
championship, no nothing?
No, nothing. MLS championship, he did not speak after the MLS championship. He is the two-time MLS MVP. We have not gotten to speak with him. He is the captain of the team. We do not speak to him. He doesn't even say hi to us. I mean, we're never even in proximity with him. I know it's hard to imagine by American sports standards. And as a journalist, as a sports journalist, 40 years, I've never experienced it. I mean, even I covered tennis too. You know, Roger Federer is the greatest tennis player of all time, my eyes. He always spoke to the media, win or lose. Rafa Nadal, Serena Williams. Serena didn't always love it, but she did show up, and she took the questions. Lionel Messi does not do local media, and he does speak, once in a while they can get him to do Apple, and he has a sponsorship deal with Apple, and Apple is the rights holder of this league. So once in a while, not very often, on the field, he will do a post game, 2 questions or something on the field with Apple, but that's even very rare. Apple doesn't even get him as much as they would like to get him. And then he'll do, if there's an Argentine influencer that he's friends with, that has 20 million followers and he's buddies with this guy, he'll go and do something with an influencer. But he just doesn't do local media. And we've already complained to the highest levels that you can complain, and this is how it is. This is how it is. So no, we do not get to speak with Lionel Messi. So the thing is, here's what I would say about the fans, about La Familia and everything, is that Lionel Messi is a global brand, which makes this team a global brand. This team is not a normal MLS team. This team does not operate like a normal MLS team. They spend way more money than all the other MLS teams. Listen, Lionel Messi's salary is more than 28 of the 30 teams in the league's entire payroll. So he is different. This team is different. The way it operates is different. So what that means is that the local fans, these diehard fans, feel that they are not as appreciated as they should be for being here before and after. And I can tell you that the media, people like me and the few others, and it's only a few who have covered this team from day one, there are a few of us only who have covered this team from day one. And we sometimes have a similar sentiment like, hey, I was here before Messi. I'm going to be here after Messi. Show us some love. You know what I mean? But the truth is, Messi is a different animal, and they can't make him do anything that he doesn't want to do.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for giving us this inside look here on Messi. It really is fascinating stuff. You can follow Michelle on Twitter at Kauf Sports, KAUF SPORTS. Michelle, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again down the road here.
All right, sure. Call me anytime. All right, take care. Bye, Omar.
Bye.
Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Man, that is some wild stuff. I knew Messi was kind of bigger than the league, but man, I didn't realize that they haven't gotten to talk to this guy in 3 years.
I've known that, but
That's
now
wild.
my thing is, how do you create a happy medium with the fan base? Because
well, they're saying all they want is to be waved to, Omar. Like, I don't think.
I mean, this seems so petty to me.
Earlier, and he said that they do a lot of stuff to set up. They bring banners and drums, like all the stuff Michelle was telling us about. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not I'm not soccer etiquette guy here, but it seems to me like, and she said that Messi waved to every side of the stadium except for them. So we have beef. We have some severe beef here. All right, we're going to take a pause. we'll
Imagine your
continue
fan
on.
base. I mean, I've covered the Dolphins for nearly 2 decades, and Dolphin fans have been angry. They'll show up with their plastic, with their paper bags over their heads.
Well, someone was right. They should have done this to the Dolphins. Just all go to the games and just be completely silent during the games. Give them the whole silent treatment. We got to take a pause. We'll get back to the discussion here on QAM after this.
I do know this. Your South Florida Chevy dealers have never looked better.
Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV. In stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Delays continue out of Broward County. This traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, Florida's Turnpike, and northbound at 57th Avenue. An accident that has a right lane blocked. Emergency crews are at the scene. And stop-and-go traffic continues in Miami-Dade along the Palmetto southbound from I-75 to Northwest 74th Street. That's traffic. I'm Elia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Come rock with Quiet Riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The Casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the Casino at Dania Beach.
We've made it easy to find us. Listen to WQAM on FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Wow, that was so easy.
All of our shows are there live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed. Anytime.
All right, welcome back in here on QAM on this Monday morning. Let's get you your stock market report. Is brought to you by Anna John Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. It's 1-800-747-3733. Market opens in about 5 minutes from now. NASDAQ futures up 135 points. Dow down 16. S&P up 10. So best of luck to all players there. Omar, this is an interesting discussion here. And by the way, if you missed Joe with us early this morning, we'll run that for you coming up here. So we're gonna get caught up. But Omar, this is such a weird story here, this Inter Miami thing. And thank you to Dan Day for really setting the table on this story. He actually covered the game last night. And Dan, you set the table perfectly with this story, and you really brought it to our attention. I find it fascinating, to be quite honest. I really do. And you know, I tend to side with the fans on this one. Like, especially if Messi's going around waving to every other section except for yours. Like,
I mean,
just
that's at the end, and I'm seeing video now. And when they started finally chanting after their 85 minutes of quiet, you could see Messi was bothered by what they were saying. Now, I don't speak the language.
I understand that.
And I know Michelle translated it for us. So he was pissed. He looked pissed. I retweeted it on my Twitter account. He looked pissed. And I don't know how smart it is for a fan base to have the biggest star in soccer and actively piss him off over the fact that he won't wave at you every night. Like,
well, what is he going to do? I mean, he's not going to. What is he going to leave? I don't
he's part owner of the team, so it's going to be hard to just roll out.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere, but like, I don't know, man. I just look at it like, and again, I'm not soccer etiquette guy. I just look at it as from the facts that I've been presented here this morning. I think Messi can rise up and be the bigger man here and just wave to these people and, you know, maybe stay around the game for like 6, 7, 8 hours afterwards and sign for every single one of them. Like, I don't think that's so hard.
How about we find some happy compromise and
just wave to them. Why is that? That's the compromise. Like, just hey,
I
thank
don't know,
you guys for all your support of the team. Thank you. While I'm waving everyone else, like, here's a wave. And to the person who texted in that, like, you know, football players don't do like American football. Like, that's not true, man. A lot of the players will run over to the student section and high five the students in the end zones. Like,
college,
you know, but again, like, the guy brought up college, and college, everyone knows where the student section is. You know, it's not like they're hidden in the stadium somewhere. Like, yeah, in the other pro sports, the Heat don't have like a fan group that you can just like seek out after the games and wave to them, you know. But I don't know. I tend to side with Messi on this one, or excuse me, with the fans on this one. I don't think it's that hard for Messi to wave, but maybe new facts will come out today, Omar, and we'll continue to get to the bottom of this this breaking, very intense story that we have in front of us here.
I have an even greater issue with the fact that Messi hasn't talked to the local media in like 3 years or doesn't do interviews. So
I find that bizarre. I find that true.
But we've known that.
Know that. I just didn't know that. So you would think maybe after like we win the MLS Cup, like you would think that he would do an interview or a handful of interviews with local stations and probably be very positive. I can't imagine it would be anything but anyway, we'll talk to Joe about that. Joe is going to join us when we come back here. He is on the West Coast, so we will check in with Joe, and he's got a lot of sports buildup, so we'll get to all the top stories in sports with Joe when we return here on QAM.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Loctite Impact.